Yes, people. What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Saeed TV. We are live for our MUFC Unfiltered podcast, Sunday Night Therapy, whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? We're here to deliver you some Manchester United talk, man. Chilled out. You know what I mean? It could get unfiltered, but listen, it is what it is, people. We're here. Make sure you don't like the video. Make sure you don't subscribe to the channel. That would be amazing if you could do so. Subscribe to the channel. And yeah, man, we got the boys with us. We got Ash and Flawless. Ash, how are you, man? Everything all good?
Yeah, I'm good. All good. Thanks for having us as always, Saeed. Pleasure to listen to what the chat will be saying over the night and stuff. And yeah, all good, man. I mean, apart from the result yesterday, as we've been saying almost every week now. Do you know what I mean? You know, I was there at Old Trafford yesterday, and yeah, the place it feels like a graveyard. Do you know what I mean? It's just this man's on death's door. You know, He's going to be gone soon, and I think we're all aware of it now. The boos were ringing out at full time at Old Trafford, and very rare. Don't get me wrong. There was a small section of the TRA who was still chanting for him, but
natural.
But yeah, of course, but compared to what it has been in the past, you know, it was a lot more muted than it has been. So yeah, it's looking like, you know, the writing's on the wall. So. We'll see what happens there, but yeah, pleasure to be here. Hope Double A as well, and you know, he's watching, and that hope he's good, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. You know, we've got a lot to discuss, so let's get to it.
Definitely. I mean, yeah, Double A is not feeling well, people. So everybody wish Double A all the best in terms of getting well soon. So if you're watching Double A, get well soon, bro. And yeah, Flawless. We've got Flawless in the building. I don't know if you can hear us right now, but we got Flawless in the building every time. He'll be here any second, but I can't lie to you, man. We got a lot to discuss. INEOS, will they tolerate this terrible season? Let's be honest with you. Terrible season. And also, we will be discussing Zerbi or Tuchel. We're going to have a debate today. And I'm not going to lie to you. I've got a lot to discuss about Zerbi. I've got a lot to discuss about Tuchel. But we're going to discuss it. And I want you guys to get involved in the comments, because I believe it's going to be two of these guys only. I don't think we're getting Potter. He's going to Ajax. I don't think we're getting Amarin. He's going to stay after what happened to him and the embarrassing situation that happened to him. We're not going to get Hansi Flick. He looks like he's just relaxing and vacating. And we're not going to get Southgate. It's going to be two candidates, Tuchel or Zerbi. So it will be them two in particular. But let's talk about... what's going on here? Apparently, Peter Schmeichel knows something about Thomas Tuchel coming to Man United. Okay. Peter Schmeichel got some links to the club. He's just talking on beIN Sports today about Thomas Tuchel. He said, I'm hearing some people say Eric Ten Hag will be in next season. If it isn't the biggest red flag that INEOS aren't serious, I'm not sure what is. Yes, this is what I'm worried about. You know, Ashley, let me start off with you, bro. Like, are you worried that they've got they haven't done their homework? They're watching this thinking, you know what? It's all good. We see Radcliffe coming out and say, you know what? You know, patience is needed and whatnot. You was at the ground. You seen it. I didn't go to the game. I called you. I said, I'm not going. I'm not feeling it right now. But have you got a worry that they're gonna be okay with this and they're gonna want to build it next season? What are you saying, bro? 'Cause I ain't gonna lie, man. It's weird.
You know what I think? I kind of feel like it could potentially be like kicked to the curb until the summer or maybe even January transfer window, because Omar Barada's not coming. He's not working. I feel like potentially that they might not even be looking at a new manager until the middle of next season. They might just kick on with Eric Ten Hag and be a bit depressing. I mean, we heard, was it yesterday or today he's come out and said we've got no chance of winning the league next season. I mean, we might not have no chance, but you don't say that. Who knows? We might somehow stumble upon a good result, like you saw with Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? And you've seen with other teams in the past. Who knows? But you don't come outright and say there's no chance. We're not going to be a title challenge next season. That's madness. I mean, what does that put in the minds of players? So you look at INEOS and they're listening to that and they're aware of that. And right there, and after yesterday's result, once we were confirmed we couldn't get Champions League, or at least we couldn't get fourth place, then you kind of got to be looking to sack the manager there. At that point, you're thinking that the contracts have probably kicked in where he's not going to get the same amount of pay as he would have done if he would have been in the Champions League, and same with the players. So you thought it would have been easier to get rid of him, offload him as a manager. And maybe they're looking at it and thinking, well, you've got to give him the cup game, the final, because we saw a couple of seasons ago with Jose Mourinho and the outrage when he was sacked before he was allowed to manage the FA Cup final. So there's maybe something around that. But I am worried with INEOS. I am worried because at the moment they're not decisive enough. We've seen this with the Glazers over the years, how long they take how drawn processes tend to be. Transfers, we're just getting anyone in, we're doing anything, selling players, doing anything, and it's feeling pretty much the same. We were hyped initially when Omar Barada was announced, came out of nowhere, and we got excited. We thought the snowball would start rolling and we'd pick up a few more acquisitions, but since then it's taken a while to get Jason Wilcox. Do you know what I mean? Dan Ashworth, he's still yet to be announced. So maybe it's one of them where INEOS are waiting to get the ducks in row before they start shooting. Maybe it's a situation where they think, well, we got to hold the cards for now. Let's get into the summer, get through the summer, get rid of a few of these players, and then we'll look toward the long term. And it's worrying. It's worrying as a short term fan, but in the long term, if that's what they're doing and they really want to get it right and they really want to have a peruse and see what's going on in the managerial transfer market, then I don't know. It's one of the, I want him to be fast moving. It's worrying. There is worrying signs so far, and we got to see change. And I think the biggest indicator will be in the summer how we deal with transfers. How quick we get things done and how we deal with the selling of players, selling of the likes of what we do with McTominay and Maguire and Lindelof and stuff like that. So we'll see. But yeah, it's worrying so far. And at the ground, the fans, they're turning. We're turning. I mean, Old Trafford, we have some of the most dedicated, loyal fans when it comes to like backing players. I mean, very rarely you hear fans boo former players. You see that across the league when a former player goes to play for their side. You saw it with City with Raheem Sterling, them all getting, even though he won multiple league titles with him, he goes to the Etihad and they're booing him. Old Trafford, you don't get that. You get the likes of Ashley Young, you get the rest of them. They come to Old Trafford, they get applauded, they get celebrated. We tend to stick by managers for a long time, maybe even to a fault. But yesterday there was boos. There was clear boos. I posted on my TikTok a video of the boos and stuff.
As he was going down the tunnel, innit, as well. It was booed. Yeah.
Some claimed it was the referees we were booing at. The referees were nowhere near Tanag. It was I'm in the south stand in that corner. Yeah. Like I said, go check my TikTok. You can hear it on there. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those where the fans, there is a section that are turning against him now. So, and usually that's curtains for a manager at Old Trafford. It's very rare that happens to a player or a manager.
Yeah. It's true. You know what's mad? Yeah, Flawless. Yeah, there's no Champions League football. There's no Champions League football. You know what I mean? It's done now, innit? It's done mathematically, but not possible. And they were saying as well, yeah. I big up to Leon, man. Big up to you always, man. They said, Champions League football. They wanted Champions League football. That was the kind of reports that were coming out. No Champions League football. FA Cup, apart from being a trophy for the manager and obviously for the club, yeah, it doesn't help them financially. You know what I mean? If you get Carabao Cup now and you get top four, you get more money for being in top four. That's just a reality situation right now. Like, is that what you reckon they're going to look at, Champions League football? Or are they going to look at the fact that, maybe they just want to give him a new chance and give him a new kind of hope and a new structure? Because I can't see how structure helps my man tactically against Burnley. I can't. You can't.
And that's it. Am I moving a bit slow? If not, I'll jump out and jump back.
No, it's calm.
Can you hear me?
No, perfect.
All right. Just on my end, I was just making sure because you just, all right, no stress. In regards to, you just hit the nail on the head there, Saeed, and answered your own question. Is our structure terrible? Yes. One thing we are all in agreement with. Our structure is awful. Every Manchester United fan on the planet is in agreement with that. We all want the Glazers out for a reason. That is the one thing, no pun intended, we are all united on as a fan base. However, the issues we have with Ten Hag and the mistakes we see him making are nothing to do with structure. Being unable to beat Burnley at home is not a structure problem. Being able to set up properly to beat Burnley at home is not a structure problem. Struggling against 3 championship level sides. We played Burnley, we played Sheffield United, and we played Coventry. Even though only two of the three of them at that time are in the are not in the championship, they're championship level. Sheffield United have now been relegated. Big chance Burnley have been relegated and Coventry are currently in the Championship. And for large parts of those games, we have struggled. 3 in a row. It's not like it's once, 3 times and 3-0 up against Coventry the worst 20 minutes. Sheffield United, yeah, we did play a little bit better. There was an element of control, but it was still too competitive for my liking. And then Burnley at home as well. And the worst thing, like I always say when I'm on your platform, Saeed, is it's not a shock. That is nothing to do with structure. If INEOS and Omar Barada and the hierarchy and everybody who has a say in this decision, if they're waiting to see if we win the FA Cup, if they were waiting to see can we get in the Champions League, if they're waiting to see where we finish in the league to decide whether to keep him or not, I want them gone. I'm in your side. If that is the case, I said it before and I'll say it again.
Serious, man.
The WhatsApp group that they're in, the Zoom meeting, whatever the case that might be, if someone even suggests in that group chat and goes, well, if he wins the FA Cup, should we keep him? Kick him out of the group chat. We don't need that type of negativity in there. I don't want that thought to even cross the mind of anybody involved in a decision. If we're looking at it solely, it should not be one thing. It should be a combination of things. Yes, we all want results. Yes, we all want to win trophies. Yes, we want to finish as high up the league as possible. However, that shouldn't be the sole thing. It shouldn't be terrible performances, terrible team performances, terrible performance from the manager, terrible individual performance. But yeah, we won the FA Cup and finished top 6, so that's good enough then. We all the vast majority of us wanted Ollie out and he finished second. Because guess what? There's much more to football than just the results. Same way there's much more than the performance. It's a combination of the two. Because when you look at the best teams in particular, our best teams, they performed well week in, week out. There was the odd game they wouldn't perform on. It's like, right, United had a bad game. We might draw a game we didn't expect to draw or lose a game. But more often than not, we bounce back. Like we look at Pep and City because they're the bar. How often did they lose 2 games back to back? I think since Pep's been there, I think it's like 3 or 4 times in his entire reign, they've lost Premier League games back to back. That shows how consistent they are, whether they're playing well or not, whether people are being critical of their performances or not, or certain individual players. So yeah, like I said, if they are it's just a lazy argument. That's what it is. It's an extremely lazy argument because there's nothing to back up Ten Hag from a logical standpoint. Like Ash always says, and I've been saying it for weeks ever since he said it. What is good about this manager?
But that's what I'm struggling to know. That's why I want. But the thing is, though,
I know he's gaslighting. Hold on. You know what's good about him? He's gaslighting.
Yeah, bro.
He's gaslighting.
Biggest gaslighter. I said it from day one, man. He's the biggest gaslighter I've ever seen.
He's playing the best football, though, Saeed. I mean, we're playing the most dynamic, most exciting football in the Premier League. That's what he's telling people. We're playing the most dynamic football. Do you know what I mean? I'm mad. How's he have the gall to come out with something like that? It's absolute madness.
Nah, it's crazy, man. Like, what it is? It's a disrespect to the fans that go to the stadium every day, and even to the fans that wake up in the morning in America and they're having to watch this at like 4 a.m. Shout out to Eddie and Sheik.
Eddie and Sheik, who I do my watch-alongs with daily. They're both on the West Coast time. So when you think it's early for us, it's early at 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m.
You need to be double impressed by this. You need to be double impressed.
I've said it all season long to Sheik and Eddie. Hey, if you don't want to show up for watch-alongs, I understand. Hamza, I will not hold it against you.
That's why I'm not showing up for the game. I'm not showing up for Old Trafford. Yeah, I'm not even showing up to see this at Old Trafford live.
Hey, if the players ain't showing up, why should you?
That's what I'm saying.
If the manager and the players don't want to show up, why should you? We asking for the bare minimum. So anyone talking about the structure to help Ten Hag, it's just another excuse. That's what it is. It's just another person to blame, or it's just another thing to blame. Even if whether the structure is good enough or not, the mistakes he are making, nothing to do with structure. Liverpool fans, a lot of them, vast majority, flew planes FSG out. So how come Klopp was successful?
Yep.
If that's the case, their fans flew planes over, and this has happened on multiple occasions. Their fans speak consistently about being FSG out, yet Klopp still managed to have success there. So it goes to show, even in the worst possible predicament, you can have success there. And you know how you can have success in a bad environment? Because Ten Hag last season won as a trophy in the same bad environment. What are we talking about? Won as a trophy, got us to another cup final, finished 3rd, etc., etc. Second best home record, defensively solid. What are we doing here? What are we talking about?
Look at this here. Big up to this chat, this comment here. Todibo era. He says, David Moyes got sacked on April 22nd with after 34 games with 57 points, 11 losses, and 11 goal difference, placed 6. Erik ten Hag is still here after 34 games with 54 points, 12 losses, plus 1 goal difference, placed 6 in the league. And by the way, it's crazy how, we've not won the Champions League yet, the FA Cup, should I say, so that's not a guarantee that he wins it, by the way. We're looking most destined to lose that, man. When I look at it more and more, we're probably destined to lose that, man. Last year, you would have gave us a hope because we were in the right condition to maybe win that. We were playing good football. We were probably in a better space last season to win that FA Cup. This season,
City were in more games and stuff.
Yeah,
City were playing more games.
Yeah, they were playing more games. They were trying to,
because we had an element of confidence because we had played City last season and beat them at OT. So they were still there. Like we'd beaten Arsenal, we'd beaten Liverpool. So there was like, even though we're the underdogs going into the final, there's still a belief that we can do something. Yeah, we lost. Whereas now there's no belief. We're going into this final like we're a league below them. Like that's how I feel. I feel like a shout out to Staffy every single time. I feel like we're a championship side going up against the Premier League side in the FA Cup. The way it's being spoken about, where it's like we have our chances are slim to none, and it's more none than slim.
Yeah,
it's more none than slim. Like the only way I think we win is they have a bad day. We defend for our lives in penalties. I favor us on penalties. If we go penalties, I think we win. But getting to penalties is a long stretch.
So is it 2 wins out of 9 then? And guess where the 2 wins are from?
What is it? Sheffield United, and who's the other?
And Coventry, isn't it? Is that the 2 wins from 9?
Nah, it's got to be another win in there in the Prem. I think we won one of the games in the Prem. Surely,
no, but it's all competitions.
Bournemouth.
No, not Bournemouth.
Did we not?
No, Chelsea. Liverpool in the league was in the FA Cup.
FA Cup, yeah.
League was Liverpool 1-1, 2-2.
Yeah, two wins out of 9. Yeah, 2 wins out of 9.
Wait. So before the Sheffield United game, when was the last time?
Oh, is it Everton? Is it Everton? Is it Everton? Everton part of the 9 games though. Is Everton part of the 9 games though?
That's crazy, man.
Let me show you that now. I don't know. I don't think it is, man. I don't think it is. It could be 3 out of 9. I don't know. So we played our last 9 games have been Burnley, Sheffield United, Coventry, Bournemouth, Liverpool, Chelsea, Brentford, Liverpool, and Everton. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, then 8. You know what I mean? 8. Let's go to our last 8 games then. Yeah.
You'd be pissed off with 4 wins out of 8.
But look at the standing, bro. Man saying, okay, add 1 more. Bro, that's dead, man. That's dead. And every single one of them, Bournemouth, we should have lost that game, let's be honest. The Liverpool game, they peppered us. The Brentford game, they should have won. We won the Liverpool game. That was it. So everything after that, it's been dead, bro. You know what I'm saying, bro? Let's be real. And if you want to go one further, I think we beat Nottingham Forest, last minute member. We lost to Man City. We lost to Fulham. And then we narrowly won against on February. So from 18th of February, we've got about 3-4 wins.
From the 18th of February, and it's almost
3-4 wins.
And one of those is Coventry City, a championship.
One of those is Coventry City, and one of them is Casemiro late winner.
And one of them is Sheffield United, who are also a championship.
Basically. So that's pretty much it.
So how many Premier League sides have we actually beat? Premier League level sides have we actually beat?
So Everton's
won.
Everton,
who just only the last week survived.
Everton, and that's it. Yes, obviously FA Cup was it? Liverpool. Yeah, so basically Everton, that was 9th of March. Before that, you're going to stretch to 18th of February, Luton away.
And that was close as well. That was a tough game.
Luton away, who are also potentially in the championship next season too.
So 18th of February, 2 wins since then. So 2 wins. So our last win was the 9th of March in the Premier League.
And even the
obviously you got Sheffield United as well.
Even the Liverpool win was in the FA Cup because we drew the league game.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. Big up to HKM Music, says, I find it funny how Erik ten Hag Innes will look at De Zerbi's currently doing at Brighton and use it as a way to say he can't be our manager. The way managers should be judged on is how others have done at the same club. Let's talk on De Zerbi. because there's a lot of discourse around Zerbi. And guys, by the way, big up to Aaron. What did you say, bro? Yo, first and foremost, big up yourself, big up Ash and Flawless. Secondly, check your Twitter DM. I sent you a video on Tuchel. You might actually like it. Please pay attention on the live stream. All right, cool. We'll move on to Tuchel after Zerbi, but I'm going to go check it right now, bro. But big up, man. Hope you're well, Aaron, man. Hope you're well, man. You get me? Big up every time. But yeah, let me ask you a question here. Zerbi, is he getting a lot of unwarranted stick right now? He's guided Brighton to their first ever European, basically Europa League. I don't think any manager did that. Chris Hughton couldn't do that. What's his name? Potter could not get them to Europa League. Yeah. When you look at them, I think they finished 7th in the league, the highest ever finish in the Premier League. He brought them in his second season or first season? I think it was first season. Was it first full season? Zerbi got them into the season.
Yeah, I think so. I checked
first full season.
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I'll have a look. But carry
Listen,
on.
I think the form is concerning. I understand where everybody's coming from, but I like to look at Zerbi objectively. I don't want to just follow the narrative of he's losing every game. He's da-da-da-da. I know they're in a bad form.
His first full season, he joined this 18th of September 22. So it's 22-23. So yeah, last season was his first full season because now it's 23-24.
Yeah. But what do you do though to a manager, that has lost Caicedo and McAllister in one summer? How do you he's lost Caicedo, Mitoma, he's lost Mitoma as well for half of the season, by the way, because he was in the Asia Cup. Then he lost one of his solid Marsh through injury, right? And by the way, everyone's got injuries. I'm not just blaming it only on injuries, right? But they signed Baleba, who's a youngster, basically. They never really replaced McAllister. For me, I think, you know what? He's had a bad year. Don't get me wrong. But I feel like for me, he needs to be Trossard as well. He lost as well last January as well. Without really replacing him as well. They got a Dingra, etc., etc. Even Estupiñán was out for a long time. And you look at the resources that he's got here, I do feel sorry for him in a way. I really, really do, because he hasn't been able to replace them two players. Any team loses McAllister and Caicedo, bro, you're going to struggle, man. You're going to struggle. And we can't compare ourselves to Brighton. We can't. So when people say, but what about Ten Hag? What about Ten Hag? Broski, relax yourself. Yeah, this is what I mean. Straight away, they're like, what about Ten Hag? What about his injuries? Listen, our expectations of Brighton's are not the same. They don't have to win every week, but I do understand the concerns that people have about the results. You don't lose and lose and lose and think, yeah, it's okay. But I think there's circumstances behind it. I'm very balanced when it comes to Zerbi. I think for me, it would be beneficial to Man United to go get him, because I feel like that would be a real coach. And with the better resources, he will provide better. But at the same time, my concern about Zerbi is when it's going badly, what's your plan B? What's your plan B? When you're getting beat 2 or 3-0, right, what are you going to do now? Are you going to start just relaxing the ball and calm down? Or are you then going to say, cool? You know what I mean? So I'm very balanced. A lot of people are just one side with Zerbi. So that's why I want to ask your opinions about Zerbi in terms of where do you sit? I'll start with Ash first and foremost, and then I'll go to you, Flawless.
Yeah, okay.
Do you know mad stat with Zerbi? He's lost the same amount of games as Ten Hag and scored the same amount of goals as Ten Hag.
That's crazy.
But crazy. One's a villain, one's a thingy.
That's crazy.
Mad that. I think Zerbi.
Sorry, I just thought of the flirting versus harassment meme, but
basically.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. Everyone's seen that meme.
I was going to use that today, by the way, for Luke Shaw and Martial, which I'm going to bring up later on.
Yeah, I mean, I think we need more data. We need more games. It feels like it's a gamble in it right now. You can clearly tell he's a good coach. What worries me, saying what you were saying there, Saeed, is plan B. He's not gone to a plan B. He's not got a plan B. He's very stubborn with the tactics and the way he plays football. I would like to see the very best managers in world football. You've seen that even with Pep. Pep changes his tactics almost every season. You see it with Klopp. You see it with Sir Alex. You see it with Ancelotti. The top managers, they adjust and they learn to adjust because they have to. They have to do the best with what they've got. And at the moment, De Zerbi's not proven that he's been able to do that. Whether that's a little bit of stubbornness because he is a young manager generally compared to some of the managers just spoke about there. But he is a gamble. He is a risk. He has got a depleted squad, an injured squad. Again, I'm looking at it like, at least you've got a closed shop. He's conceded so many goals. I'm not too sure how many goals he's conceded, but I imagine it's a fair few than we have. But again, he's been.
Is it 52? Yeah, wait 1 second. I'll tell you now. I'm just looking at the table. Goals against 57.
57. We're around about 50. So
57 in 34 games. We are 51.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, not even that bad. I mean, it's not great, is it? But he's one of those. I like his personality. He's got that charisma, something that Ten Hag's got none of. We've seen that this season. We've seen it in the interviews. We've seen it, on the field. There's no relationships with players there. None of the players speak highly of him. Have you heard a player come out and really talk and praise him as a manager, as a man manager at our club? We've not really heard that from any players. They say they've taught them things tactically on the field or training and stuff like that. But when considering we've had managers like Ollie and stuff in recent times, then you can understand, he's going to pick up. They're going to pick up the odd thing from a Dutch coach. You'd hope that'd be the case. But De Zerbi, what I like about De Zerbi is he implementing his own style in a country and being able to stick with that and kind of refine it. But again, there's the flip side to that in the fact that he hasn't got a plan B. So I do worry about him there. And for me, it's a little bit too early. Maybe it's a case of we get to January.
That's what they said. Ash, that's what they said though. I was on the mid-6 here with a guy called Ryan, who's a big Brighton fan. He does a lot of content on Brighton. He said it's going to be 1 year too soon for De Zerbi. He said 1 more year in Brighton and then he can maybe get a big job. Which
I
don't
think
know if he was saying that.
Spain.
Yeah, but then I don't know if he was saying that because he then knows, we've got to get another manager. Or he could be ready to take the job. I mean, big up HK Musi says, Brighton 17, 18, 15, 18, 19, 17. Hired Potter 19, 20, finished 15th. 20th, 2021, 16th. 21, 22, 9th. Hired De Zerbi. De Zerbi finished 6th. Currently 12th, which would be the third highest finish in their history. So when you look at it, it's not crazily bad. And when you look at it, Flawless, look at their spending this summer. Look at their spending this summer. I don't know if you can see that one. So let me zoom that in. Look at they sold, right? They sold McAllister. They sold Caicedo. Look at they brought in this summer. João Pedro was a decent signing, right? Beleba, young player, 19 years old, bro. Verbruggen from Anderlecht. Igor from Fiorentina. Barco's a youngster. They brought in this guy here. They got in a free transfer of Dahoud, who now, by the way, is at Stuttgart. James Milner, come on. I don't know why they signed him. They bought Ansu Fati, who's hardly played this season. Then they bought a load of under-21s. And look at they sold. Look at they sold. Like, they sold Caicedo, Alex McAllister. Bro, come on, man. Like, that's their two biggest...
Yeah, that's their midfield. Yeah,
that's their midfield. That's their midfield. So I think a lot of people need to cut him some slack, man. Like, people are just so harsh on De Zerbi. But I understand where people are coming from. But I think, you know what? There's got to be context to it. There's got to be some sort of there's a reason why they've fallen off. Like, there's a big reason. Like, they haven't been able to recruit well. And that comes down to maybe Dan Ashworth leaving. Obviously, they've got the guy, Tony Bloom. He's not done well in that aspect. So I think for me, people need to relax, man. Like, I don't know, man. But I want to hear the chat. I want to hear the chat. If they believe that I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. Can we just point out also that Ten Hag spent 400 million? But there you go.
Yeah, let's not forget that's not a fact.
Yeah, for the same amount. Do you know what I mean? Or for the same amount of defeats, same amount of goals.
Yeah, I'd say you mentioned there De Zerbi. He's being, I think you said, I'm paraphrasing, but harsh criticism, and people are being. Welcome to Manchester United Football Club. If you are a manager, if you are the manager here, if you are a player here, criticism is going to get leveled at you. That is over the top. Even players I don't rate, I think, are sometimes overly criticized. Players I do rate are definitely overly criticized because you are under the microscope at Manchester United. Not so much from the owners because they don't care, and not in regards to the manager losing his job. More so, we're talking about fans, talking about content creators like ourselves, talking about people on social media, or you're talking mainstream media. De Zerbi is now under scrutiny. If De Zerbi was not linked to Manchester United, there would not be this conversation about him in regards to his deficiencies and the cons to him as a manager and what he's not good at. Do I think the Zerbi's done a very good job at Brighton? Yes, absolutely. I think anyone being critical of him at Brighton is crazy. What more is he supposed to do there? Are they supposed to be?
You're not hearing Brighton fans be critical, or why?
This is what I'm
Brighton
saying.
fans are still backing him there.
They're still backing him because he's doing a good job there. And even though he's lost players, they have a great system. They play a great brand of football. That no issues with. Now, when it comes to him coming to Manchester United, Ash mentioned it. Adaptability. That's what I'm concerned about in regards to if he goes 1 win in 8, switch it up. You can't just go 2 wins in 3 months and all my players ain't good enough, which to an extent, I hear that. No doubt about that. However, adapt. We see Pep Guardiola in this league has adapted. So if Pep Guardiola, who we look at as the bar and the best manager in the league, can adapt with the players he has, so can you. And with De Zerbi, my biggest issue with him is the CV. He's been nowhere near this level. He's been nowhere near this level. I've used it in boxing terms where in regards if Manchester United were a boxer, we are a world level fighter. And I'm just talking about the pressure people. We are a world level fighter, pay-per-view, worldwide. You know what I'm saying? 24/7 all access before the bout. To me, De Zerbi's done well, but he's not even for a European level. He's a national boxer, and he's done very well at that level. But that jump is big. And that's why when I hear people say, and Ash mentioned it, it's a year too early, I understand that. Because when you look at it in regards to, and get to this in a second, when you look at it and it gets to managers from within, it's never worked. The most successful managers in the Premier League have never come from within the Premier League. It's the complete opposite to players like buying from within the Premier League makes sense. But when you look at all the managers that have had any form of sustained success here, they've not managed here before. And also as well, he hasn't won a trophy. And I'm not saying he has to have won a Premier League or a Champions League, but something. Run me a copper.
We don't know what it looks like in a running, do we? We don't know when those nerves are in, when the pressure. We have no.
Run me a Copper Italia, because when you look at every single manager that's won the Premier League, guess what they all have in common? They've all won something before they got here. Every manager since the start of the Premier League, every manager of a top 6 club, apart from there's 2 exceptions, Di Matteo and Sarri. They're the only 2 exceptions who have won trophies at
Mancini.
a big 6 club without. Mancini had won trophies before Manchester
Was he
Was he not in Inter? Yeah, he was
Inter. Was
it Inter?
He
was at Inter. Even when you look at Arsene Wenger, he won the league untitled at Monaco. Ranieri had won, I think he's got 2 or 3 Coppa Italias on his resume. Before he went to Leicester. So it's like, there's something to that. So we're saying, and because eventually, rebuild is all well and good, playing all players being coached, playing good football, all well and good. However, this is Manchester United Football Club. Eventually, you got to win.
Yeah, exactly. Big up Abdishek here, because I know he's been on this channel for a while, but he's saying that Life of Man United YouTubers get on a new manager hype, blame the players, results go bad, blame the manager, gain 20k subs, repeat.
Just to clarify to this, I'm not at 20k subs, so if you could please subscribe, Sarcasm City TV.
Yeah.
If this is the method that works, I need to get there.
Get writing down the notes.
I need to write it down.
But hey, listen, this is what happens anyway, because a manager. Exactly.
No, Saeed, let me say, we don't want to get on hype. Do you know what I mean? We don't want to get on managers on the backs of players and the backs of managers.
I'm scared now, by the way.
We want them to do well. Yeah, we just want them to do well. It's not you don't want them to perform poorly. You want them to see them do well. And when they're performing poorly and they're playing poorly, they're doing the wrong things, you just call it how you see it. We're not in delusional land. We're not thinking like hopes and prayers. We're thinking about the reality of the situation. What's going on? What are we witnessing? What are we witnessing right now?
What did I say about tonight? We're built different.
And just to clarify, to the super chat as well, where he says, get a new manager and then blame the manager, but don't blame the players. How many times have we been on this show criticizing players this season? How many titles, as if you go back and check Saeed's titles of this show and other shows on his channel, where we're talking about an individual player, like you may be talking, don't group all I can say is don't group all content creators into one thing. Because we're not all one. I've ACGI. How many times have I said
everyone can get it?
Anybody can get it.
I want 80% of these players gone.
You being kind, bro. 99.9%.
9.
I'm literally like everybody. I'm literally saying, and when I say that people sell the player, I'm saying get rid of everyone. I've said this. Players, coaching staff, scouting department, medical team.
Yeah.
Obviously, Omar Barada's new, but the CEO,
There's about 3 people who can
medical
survive,
director.
innit?
I want everybody gone. The chefs, dinner ladies, stewards, car parking attendants, the canteen staff, receptionists,
Ticket
everybody
office,
gone.
there, shambles. Ticket
Ticket
office.
office,
Ticket
get them
office,
gone
man.
too. That's a new one. The ticket office, everybody. The
Yo.
admin for Manchester. I want everybody who's been associated with just this failure gone. Literally from what does Norridin always say? A fish rots from the head.
Yeah,
that's
fish
what it
rot
is,
from the head.
top
Yeah.
all the way down. I want everybody a clean slate. So this whole thing about just blame me. You clearly not been watching. Clearly you've not been watching. But big up for the super chat though.
Now, big up always, man. Listen, Abdul Shek's been part of the channel for a while, so big up to him. HKN says United 17-18, Jose 2nd, 18-19, Jose 6th, Oli 19-20 3rd, Oli 2021 2nd, 21-22 6th was obviously under Ragnick, interim. 22-23 3rd, 23-24 6th. Eric Ten Hag is performing below our average league position in his first time here, while Zerbi has overperformed. You know, Zerbi, by the way, he's only 10 points behind us. Like, it's not as if we're far away from them. You know what I mean? Like, yo, they're only 10 points behind us. And like I said to you, if they had, I always say, yeah, Bournemouth, I think they're doing well, to be fair. Wolves, Chelsea, and Brighton, I think, you know what? If they had any outs about them, they would have finished above United. We have been so bad. It's just been who has been consistently not bad. You know what I mean? Or, you know what I mean? Like, consistently inconsistent. Who's been the least consistently inconsistent? Do you know what I'm trying to say, bro? Yeah, bro, that's all it's been. You know? Big up. Our next manager doesn't really know to be a winner or have something. We need a manager who will drill tactics and get the best players up to a certain standard. This will happen. Who can fire whoever. It is and getting better manager. Yeah, there you go.
I hear what you're saying, but this is Can you just put that super big up to Sai as well for that?
Big up to Sai, man, for the gifting.
This is what happens. We can fire whoever and gets a better manager. This is where my issue lies. I don't trust the people in charge to do that. My biggest fear is that we get a Zerbi. He goes the Arteta route, where it's like, you're good, well coached, much better. You rebuild. We're comfortably one of the better sides in the Premier League, but we'll fall short because you're not good enough.
Yeah.
Because we're watching that now with Arsenal. Because the Arsenal board, in my opinion, will not get rid of Arteta. The biggest obstacle I believe Arsenal have is Mikel Arteta. And I don't want that to happen. I think if you put a better manager in charge of that team right now and those players, they win something. They win the league.
Yo, it's
this
true.
Year or last year. And that's what we're putting a lot of faith in INEOS to do that. For all right, let's say it is that's what you're talking about, to get us to a certain point and then you sack him. In particular, we've watched our fan base back managers who are awful. There's still people backing Ten Hag now. People backed Oli. People backed Mourinho when he clearly wasn't working and it was time to move on. So we're saying a manager who plays good football here, we might build him a statue outside the ground after game 1. We might do that. Legit. The first man, if the Zerbi comes in
I'm scared, man.
Football for game 1.
Yeah, you've got to earn my trust.
Do we forget what happened with Ragnick? For that first 20 minutes of his first game, I think it was Palace, and
Palace. That was the best. I think that was the best football we've ever played.
I couldn't believe what I was watching. I was on the watch along saying I could see pressing and triangles and giving goals. I couldn't believe. So imagine Zerbi comes in and actually plays good football, and then we're saying we're gonna get rid of him. No, how about we get a manager that not only plays good football, tactically astute, man management, but also can win as well. Because we can't That's where I'm at.
Exactly. You know, this big up to Adams, man. You know, but they are pointing the right piece. I think this is what they do. They're doing everything right, but still, you could get it massively wrong by keeping this manager. Like, genuinely, man, because the fan base won't be on your side, man. Well, I think it's split in it. But I think majority of people want the manager out, man. Let's be honest, man. If the manager went tomorrow, I don't think anybody would be like, it's a game over now. Da, 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 da. You know, I'm trying to say that. I think ultimately, though, it comes down to having a fresh start, new era, new vibes, new energy. And you know what, man? Start actually performing as a team, bro. Because one manager's already saying top 4 battle next season. You know what says that to the players already? Like, yo, it's okay. We're going to stumble over the line to top 4. Like, I don't want to be doing that, man. By you stumbling over the line to top 4, you're setting the wrong precedent, man. You're setting the wrong precedent.
Did he really say it's a top 4 battle next season? Is that what he said?
But basically, he said that's what he said. He goes, we're not competing for the league. We're competing for top 4, basically. Yeah.
That's like,
And by the way, look at exactly. Look at Glasner and Iriola. Look at Glasner with flipping Schlupp and Mateta and
Will Hughes.
Browski. Who?
Will Hughes. You know what I'm
Will
saying?
Hughes.
Yeah,
Are
Will Hughes.
these players better than our team? Are they better than us? Are they? But I'm seeing them playing unbelievable football, man. And he's been in the job 4 months.
And Samson, I agree with this in regards to we don't need to get slapped to play good football. That's why when I responded to the super chat from HKN, it's like, why does it have to be one or the other? Why not both? Why can't I be a manager that is capable of winning major trophies and winning trophies, but also plays good football and also is tactically astute and also a great man manager? I know I'm asking for a GOAT, but is that not what we should be aiming for? Shouldn't we aim for the best?
But clearly not. The minute, you know what I mean? I think that the fan base here, I don't know, they're in a bit of a sticky situation where they just don't know what they want in it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think we need coaching. I'm at that stage where we need coaching. We need to see this team like cut open, man. I want to see a proper rebuild where everybody.
Fundamentals. We need fundamentals. We need players just know how to pass, how to move. Do you know what I mean? It's the basics that we need so far. That's what we're not seeing on the football field. These players, they're thrown together. They have no idea what they're doing. They're out of position most of the time. You know, you see Casemiro not having a clue where he's going, not tracking his man, and these are experienced players who aren't being told and aren't being coached the basics. Do you know what I mean? All you ask for is a little bit of kind of inspiration from your coach, from your manager. You get nothing from Ten Hag. Ten Hag's not shown any kind of ability to get these players to follow his instructions. We see the same thing over and over again. No, Rashford on the left is rushing at players. Do you know what I mean? Garnacho greedy, the amount of times he's holding onto the ball and not feeding. Bruno, hope and prayer balls every time in behind. It's the same thing. There's no kind of calm composure. You're even seeing now we copy players move and be 15, 20 yards away from nowhere close to him. And he's starting to look a little bit lost by himself there in the midfield. And it's just the fundamentals I'm asking for. Just the ability to, when you've lost the ball, get back into formation. When you've passed the ball, move into a position where you're not hiding behind the opposition. Simple thing.
Did you see Eriksen's interview yesterday, man? I can't lie, man. He basically was saying like, yo, like you got 9 days to basically train in it. And he was like, yo, man, but 9 days can be a bit too long in it. You know what I mean? You'd rather be playing football. You know, so I was just watching his interview and I was like, bro, he goes like, oh, we're gonna find out what the manager wants us to do in training, in it. Like even he was a bit like, I don't want to be training, man, because we don't really do anything in training. Do you get it? Like, so he was kind of like, we don't need to. So he was so passive, man. You know what I mean? But by the way, this comment here, Sonic, Conte's going to Napoli and Mourinho.
No, we don't. No.
You know what I mean?
Nothing else ex Chelsea. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? And ban it. Nothing. No managers that have been here. Mourinho failed at Manchester United. Conte failed at Spurs.
Shit.
Why? At least with the Zerbi, you can say, right, he's not been here before. It's new, it's fresh. We know what we're getting with Mourinho and Conte.
Yeah.
No.
What you like about them though? They got credit in the bank. They had credit in the bank. That you know, you don't go giving loans for £1 million homes with someone with no credit history. Do you know what I mean? And that's what we're about with De Zerbi. He's got no credit history, has he? Like you were saying yourself, flawless. Do you know what I mean? You know, that's where we were. Whereas at least with Tuchel, we've seen what he's like against the big. We've seen what he's like against Pep. We've seen what he's like, you know, with PSG. We've seen what he's been capable and able to do to get to deal with these players, to deal with the likes of Mbappe and Neymar and all that. Do you know what I mean? See how he can handle these kind of these personalities. We've not seen that with De Zerbi. We don't know what De Zerbi's like with these kind of characters, this kind of a pressure on you, like you've seen with, like I said, Tuchel at these super clubs. De Zerbi's never been close to that. He could get to Manchester United, his arse fall out, and him have no idea what he's doing going forward with these players.
That's what I'm worried about.
Which is essentially what happened to Ten Hag, isn't it? That's pretty much what's happened to Ten Hag.
Yeah, and that's what I don't, and that's why with Tuchel and De Zerbi, even though I'm not totally, if either of them were hired, I'd be like, okay, I give him a chance. But that's my worry, is that Tuchel is De Zerbi is everything you said, like not been experienced, and Tuchel's done at this level. Like he's fine. That's why I'm looking middle ground. That's why Amarim to me fits.
Yeah. Okay.
Like someone like him in regards to, I don't know too much about him in regards to the football, but his CV matches. I'm looking at resumes, and yeah, Aaron, you right. Don't like. Only thing ex-Chelsea I want to see pitch up at Manchester United is Carlo Ancelotti. That's it. If it's not him, yeah, bar him. That's legit. Ain't trying to see nobody else ex-Chelsea. No. That Mount one is scarred, man. Scarred me.
Facts.
I'll take Palmer. Come on, we're taking Palmer.
Yeah, but he's not really ex-Chelsea, like he only been there a year. So he's not been, Chelsea-fied. That's what it is.
Let me bring that video of Tuchel, by the way. Big up to Leon in the building, by the way. Hope you're well, bro.
Leon.
But yeah, this video here from Tuchel. Let me listen to this video. Yeah, no worries, bro. Take your time, man. Don't worry. He says here, look, let's check this video. What's this?
Nach welchen Ideen spielst du Fußball? Du kommst ins Training und du machst nur, was du willst. Es ist kein einziger Ball dabei für unser Spiel. Es ist nur dein eigenes Spiel. Hier noch ein Trick, da noch ein Trick und hier noch ein Trick. Und keine einzige klappt davon. Mir steht's hier oben, ehrlich. Jeder spielt den Ball tief, aber du hast eine bessere Idee. Ja, die klappt auch riesig. Hier könnt ihr hinterherlaufen. Viel Spaß.
Oh, is that saying to Bruno, man? That might be Bruno gone then, isn't it?
I need to click that small part where he's like trick here, trick there. I just want to, I'm gonna use that at a later date. Yeah,
we saw them with Ten Hag though, where who was he talking to? He was talking. Was it Noah Lang or someone? And he was saying that you're playing for yourself, you're not playing for your team. I want to drag you off.
Yeah, but I also saw, shout out to Aaron, but I also saw Ten Hag shouting in training, man. And what's he done, man? You know what I mean? Like, man, see Ten Hag shouting, bro. What is he done, man? Like, but the problem is, it's about getting the message across, though. Sometimes you don't have to be shouting, and you can still get the message across. Sometimes you can be shouting, and that might encourage everyone. But now it looks like a lot of shouting that Ten Hag has done hasn't really done anything. You know what I mean? It's not even relating to the players now because they're just doing whatever they want to do. There's no set formation, set plan as to what we're doing.
There is no instruction. There isn't anything. And like I said, we're talking here about there's no perfect manager out there. Any manager is a risk. There's pros and cons. So you have to try and take calculated, and what fans want in managers is different. And when we look at certain things and certain criteria, etc. But the Zerbi I hear, but then I also hear the cons. Tuchel I hear, but I don't like the Bayern Munich run. What he's done at Bayern Munich, I don't like at all. Like the Eric Dyer signing, the way they played, being beaten to Bayer Leverkusen, even though they beat up the way when they played us, I weren't impressed. Yeah, they got through and topped the group, but they weren't impressive against Arsenal either. And I know people who watch that league religiously, and they're like, yeah, Bayern have not been at it. So Tuchel, no, it's one of them where it's like it just seems lazy. Like we haven't really. Tuchel's sorry, flawless. His second and third season, flawless. They're always a drop off, aren't they? You saw that with Chelsea, you saw it at PSG, you saw it at Dortmund. Do you know what I mean? You're now seeing it at Bayern, so you get one good season out of the man. That's what we're looking at really under him is one good season. But yeah, apologies.
No,
it's not going to be successful.
No, not at all, not at all. And it's very important that we don't suppress creativity. The opposite. But in your room, in your space, in that moment where you are protected, please find your solution. I will never tell Neymar what to do in a certain closed space because he will find a solution I never dream about. I will never tell Kylian, why? Why should I? I will never tell Marco Verratti what to do. He will find a solution that I did not find, not even if I think about it.
Talking about Neymar.
Listen, you know what I mean? People can talk, man. You know what I'm saying to you? The thing is with me, though, I don't know about Tuchel, man. I'm 50-50, man. I've just got this feeling that he's a cup manager, and we've got a cup manager in Ten Hag. You know?
At least Tuchel in the chat, like, also not in the champs. One thing he would give me faith is the champs. But yeah, it just seems, I said it yesterday on the show, it seems very lazy. Kind of like he's given us his CV and all we've read is the cover letter. We haven't actually opened it up and seen the context of the previous jobs he has. Because he sounds great on paper. Sounds great. Champions League winner. Managed Chelsea, so he's been here before, managed PSG, currently managing Bayern Munich into a Champions League semi-final, has reached X amount of finals in X amount of years, etc., has won major trophies, has won domestic cups, all well and good. But then when you actually open it up and check the context of it, it's not good. And it just seemed very, very lazy on our part. Oh yeah, Thomas Tuchel, big name, Champions League winner. Yeah, get him in. That's just how I look at it.
Let's check this video because this was a while ago. This video as well. Let's check this one.
You get to come here to Old Trafford and put your feet up.
Yes, I put my feet up. No one puts his feet up in Old Trafford. It's one of the biggest stages in world football. It's a very special atmosphere, and I'm happy to have the privilege be at the sideline of a Champions League match at Old Trafford. So on these kind of occasions, you need to bring the best out of yourself and out of our team is normal. Nothing else matters.
Because you have already qualified top of the group, strongest team, you more.
There is a sense to a very special football stage, and there is a sense to a very special occasion. I can imagine that. I'm very sure that none of the players would accept to just rest for the sake of resting or for the situation in the table to get a pause. These are the stages and these are the matches that you absolutely want to play. So we play with our very best team for this that we think who deserve to start and who are the best. Very important. So
yeah. Listen, I think he also likes to. He knew what United were about. I think there's a video as well. There was a video where he was talking about how United play and how the United are, etc., etc. I mean, it's one of them for me. Yeah, I just don't like the fact that everywhere where he's been, he's kind of underwhelmed in aspects, but then excelled in certain parts. But I believe as well, it becomes who's available. And Tuchel is available. He's not wanting to sit around. He went from the PSG job to the Dortmund job to the PSG job. Then he went from the PSG job to the Chelsea job. Then he went from the Chelsea job to the Bayern job. He barely had any rest between. He might have had a couple of months rest, and that was it. He's a fairly young manager. I think he's only, 51, 52? I think he is, something like that.
Well, you said it there,
50 years old, 50 years old.
You said it there, though, because he's available. It's like, that should not be top of the list because he's available. It's like, that's not it. Just because he's available. And I think, like I said, Tuchel is a good manager to an extent, but I keep saying this is lazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're out on a night out in the rave in the club, and then you're just trying to draw a gal and you in the kebab shop. She available, she there. That's what this feels like.
Yo,
it gives me that
could
type
be a
of vibe.
10. That's kebab.
Shut up, man. Shut up. Leo, shut up. I'm not trying to hear it.
Every girl's got dirty habits, man.
This guy. I ain't talking about being it could be a chicken shop, whatever the shop is. You get the overall point that I'm making. It would just seem very late. Like, that's an appointment us four could make. Oh, who should we get? Oh, yeah, Tuchel. It just feels very social media-esque. Like, there's not a lot of thought put into it. We trying to rebuild and reset and go. And it's like, yeah, Tuchel. Huh?
It's just a facelift on Ten Hag, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's just a facelift on Ten Hag. That's all it is. I mean, a little bit more charisma, a little bit better performances in the cups.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, right.
That's what he's.
A better resume. Yeah. I get
you know what it is for me, yeah? You know what it is for me? We got badly catfished with shit. We got badly catfished with Ten Hag.
So, yeah.
So we all believed we was getting a manager where he was gonna coach finally, because we'd had Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, whose dream job it was, and I didn't have any expectation when Ole was here. It was just do the best he can, because there was no CV to go off, there was no credibility. It's just vibes in it, and he done all right to say he's got no experience. Let's be real. When you look back at it now, he's got zero experience as a manager, and he managed to get to certain places. But it shows obviously we've got quality players as well. Then you go Mourinho, who kind of fell off at United. We thought what we were getting was nowhere near. Van Gaal brought something in, but it just didn't fully. I don't think he got the time he deserved in the end, to be honest. It was boring, the football, but I feel like maybe with another season we might have seen something there. You never know. But that was that. I feel like with the next manager, is Tuchel my first choice? Hell no. But I think INEOS need to have a plan of where they're going in about 5 or 6 years. So if you do bring in a Tuchel and you go,
steady the ship.
Yeah, I wouldn't even mind if they turn around and they said, we'll give you 6 months, or we'll give you a year, but we're going to whack you in 6 months if you're not headed to where we want to go. Because if Tuchel is the choice that we end up with, I'm not going to be in uproar, because I'm like, is he going to leave us in a better position for the next guy? That's kind of where my mindset is. Obviously, they could turn around, give him a 2-year deal, say he's the future guy. We could fall off after a year and we could be like, what the hell are you doing? You wasted time, innit? But like, everything's so low right now. We don't have a manager.
The bar's low, man.
No, we don't. A manager who talks about a standard that he doesn't set. So we don't even have that as a basis. A style of football that he believes that no one else can understand. So I'm like, if that's going to be their choice, is it mine? Hell no. But he will bring in a certain standard. I actually believe with the squad right now, he'd probably make top 4 this year because the league's not great. The league's not great. Let's
He's
not kid
definitely
ourselves.
capable of doing that because he is a better version of Ten
But
Hag.
it's just the premises of like, because part of me feels like they're going to continue with. I don't want this to happen, but part of me feels like they're going to continue with Ten Hag. I said this the other day. If they haven't got their guy yet, they're going to go. Let's just continue. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. But like, pause. But like,
Hey,
we're gonna,
yo.
till he gets there. Yeah, I had to cover, I had to cover
Hey,
myself.
Whoa.
Yo, Staffy, I hate you, man. But but so I don't know what to feel. But at the same time, it's like if we continue to do that, where we go right, Tuchel, see how it goes. Are we wasting time for where we could have had somebody? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like so.
But you know what is though? What is time though, man? What is time at the minute, man? Because bro,
That's
Who is the guy that they want that they can't get?
Well, I think it goes back. This is what I was going to kind of. Sorry, the last thing I was going to say. It goes back to what you say, Flawless, which I think is the key thing. I think United fans stop thinking about like who the manager's going to be. Is he going to be a perfect fit? I'm not happy with this, that. What's the club's plan? Like, what kind of football do you want to play? That's what we want to know. How do you want the club to look? What do you want the club culture to be? And then fit him in around that. Because if it's like we can't get the manager we want now, but Tuchel has some of those principles, we need to we don't have an understanding of where we're going as a club, like at all. Do you know what I mean? It's like going to Saran and Sugar with a business plan and saying, yeah, I got a good idea. So what are your projections? It's going to work. It's going to work. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you ain't getting
basically saying we need Claude to be interviewing whoever the next manager is from the Apprentice.
That would be perfect. That would be absolutely perfect.
Because Claude would absolutely like, all right, what's your plan?
Ten Hag would not have been able to sat down. Ten Hag wouldn't be able to sit down.
He would have told him get out beforehand.
And he's like, whoa, no. You call this the business plan, mate? Yeah, get out.
You know what? Would it help you if everyone was in their positions already? Omar Barada was in his position already.
That was my point, Saeed. Are they gonna are they basically going to turn around to us and say, like, cooking food, the food's not ready yet. We're just going to put the ingredient that's there, but not ready. I think the fans will go mad if they do that. If they go, we need another 6 to 12 months to bring in.
Yeah,
who are we missing here?
Dan Ashworth.
We're missing a sporting director.
We are still missing him because he's not allowed to work. His conflict of interest at the moment.
Who are we actually missing? If you look at a club structure, who are the key roles?
So the CEO, the DOF.
But here the thing is though, even though they are technically not in those roles, they're working from.
They're working. I know they're working.
So that's how I look at it in regards to as soon as, because is it July the 1st? I'm guessing that's when they officially take over.
No.
When is it?
No. Barada apparently is mid-July.
Oh, so like the 15th of July. Same day. Let's say so.
Yeah, Barada doesn't start until mid-July.
Okay, so let's say it's the 15th.
They have to be working now because we would do so bad.
They're working now and they hit the ground running in regards to. They still in the group chat. They still having conversations.
Even the brother from is it Ashworth or whatever who's trying to buy out? He's definitely working for these men behind.
Like Wilcox, like these men. That's why I'm not hearing. Like they're on the clock, INEOS. You have been saying this from the beginning. I don't trust you lot. You're on the clock. So far, so good. You've done well. I like the appointments that have been made. I like how you've moved so far.
It's not enough though.
However. Yes, there's still so much. Don't tell me, how the house is gonna look, and you bringing it me on the sheet of paper and with the sketch. No. Run me when the house is built. That's where I want to know. Like that's where I'm at with it.
For real.
In regards to these, like because the things we're asking for are basics. So if they can provide these, cool, and then we go from there. I think we'll be all right, especially in the first season.
Like my thing is, if you go, we're going to bring in a Tuchel. He's not going to be the ultimate. He has elements of the style of play that we're looking to play, but he's actually going to be able to set a certain standard. And then we're still looking in the background for the main guy, or we've not got him yet, whatever. Yeah, I can deal with that. But if you turn around and you go 3-year deal, he's the guy we see the future. I'm like, based on what you guys are saying in here and what I've seen, I don't see how that translates into what we do with his pass.
Can I ask you a question, Mandem? Yeah, if Ten Hag is still here next season. I'm telling you now, I think we're finishing maybe 7th or 8th again.
INEOS out.
Yeah. But even if Ten Hag is sacked here, I still think it's going to be a difficult task of finishing top 4 next season. Shall I tell you why? Because I think Newcastle will get better. I think Chelsea, I think they're going to sack Pochettino. I just think they'll just be low key about it.
They're going to go up again, I think.
Yeah. You got Brighton, who,
By the
like
way,
I said to you,
I can see Villa pushing on again. You know, I can see.
yeah, they're not going to do. They're not going to do Newcastle. They're not going to do a
Have to
Newcastle.
recruit players for the right price.
Yes. Newcastle will get stronger. Brighton will be there again. You know, Chelsea, Liverpool will listen. As much as we banter Liverpool, they're not going to fall off. They're going to be there in around there. And then you've got Man City and Arsenal, who I think are staple 1 and 2. I generally think Arsenal and Man City are staple.
Even West Ham side, because aren't they getting rid of Moyes? They're going to go like some European.
And no Europe. Well, listen, whoever's in Europe, you're going to have a bad season. So Tottenham next season, they might have a slippery slope next season because of the Thursday night football. If United in Europe, we're going to have a slippery slope. And I think that'll be it. I'm talking about Thursday nights as well. Thursday nights is going to kill a lot of teams.
Killer.
It's a killer, man. And this is why I'd rather not finish in Europe. Right now, we're on course to finish Europa League, I believe. You know,
Currently
like
Europa League, but it could be Conference League. I think we could easily finish Conference
Either
League.
one.
how many points are we getting this season, by the way? The end of the season, 12 points. I hate to ask this question, but how many points are we...
We'll be lucky to get over 60.
Guys in the chat, predict where United will finish. How many points United will end up with. I'm going to say
Why are we doing
we
this?
will beat...
Why?
Let me predict something.
Why, man?
I think we'll win.
Why, man?
I think we'll win at Brighton. I think we'll win Brighton. We're going to lose to Crystal Palace. We're going to lose to Arsenal. We're going to draw to Newcastle. So I think we're getting 4 points out of 12.
You know what?
Do you know what's the
Wait,
better
when's the last time we won away?
Villa.
That was a while back now.
18th of February.
Ago,
18th of February.
The last time we went away from home was the 18th of February.
18th of February.
It's all we're closing in on the 1st of May. It's the first of May, Wednesday.
I got a question for guys in the chat. Will we end with a positive or a negative goal difference? That's the question.
Yeah, that's good.
You know what is them 4 games? I could see us drawing all 4.
Yeah.
I could see us drawing all 4. Like you said, 4
sure.
points, but I could just see it 4 points. I could see us drawing at Palace. I see us drawing away at Brighton. I think we draw to Arsenal, and I can see us drawing at home to Newcastle.
There's only one game I'm interested in, by the way. It's just, I don't care about the FA Cup. It's just the. It'd be nice to win it, but obviously it doesn't mean anything for our season, innit? Like, and it gives him something that he doesn't deserve, in my opinion. But
Negative.
I feel like the Arsenal game is the only game I'm bothered about now. I just want to spoil what they're doing.
Nah, man. See what
we
you're
need
doing,
the
Leon,
FA
man.
Cup.
I made
we
a
need
tweet today, man. Leon, I should have tagged you in a tweet. Come on, guys. Let them win the league, man. Why
No.
Why are you bothered?
Hold on.
I've had this debate already. I've got better Arsenal fans around me.
Wait. Let who win the league?
Arsenal.
What do you mean, why?
It's not City or Liverpool.
Yeah, because these men are
There
up
you
there.
go.
I'm here. I'm down here, man. It's not for me. It's not good.
Bro,
Trust me.
Flawless, what are you doing here, man?
What are
I
you
mean, it's
doing?
shocking.
Man said, what are you doing in Manchester?
You want Liverpool aren't going to win it, but City are going to go on a 4-peat. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
You can't be having that.
We just
I
watched
know,
City
man.
win the treble.
Aye,
That's the
listen.
worst of the
I don't
worst
care,
has already happened with them. They just won a treble last season.
No, but the thing is, though, it's 4-peat, bro. It's a 4-peat.
You don't
4P?
understand what Arsenal. All right, cool.
You don't
Like,
get it.
it's
Arsenal
full
fans-
of
I
dirt.
don't listen.
Now
I
they've
would
won
not.
the-
I know one Arsenal fan, and that's Premsy.
Yeah, no.
In money.
Arsenal can win it. Arsenal aren't a rival. Do you know what I mean?
How many Arsenal
Arsenal
fans do you
aren't
work with in
rivals.
the content creator space?
Yeah, exactly.
Bro, but the thing is, I work
Listen,
with them, but I could just say, yo, listen, you man have your party, have your fun, but
Alright,
I won't
bro.
watch it.
Alright,
I won't
yeah,
watch
yeah.
it.
You see Zayn Miasi, you see how annoying he is. That's that.
Same me, I see, bro. We can mute him. We can mute him for a month.
A month. You think these man?
Chihuahuas.
Hold up. These man ain't won a major.
Little
trophy.
Chihuahuas
Wait.
yapping.
Hold up, Saeed. These man ain't won a major trophy in over 20 years and they don't shut up. If they win a Premier League, it's going to feel like they've won quadruples for the last 10
Bro,
years.
I said this
hear
before.
you,
They've
man.
done nothing. Let me just
said this
clarify this
before.
with Arsenal. And this is me not backing City because you're basically asking me which gun you want to shoot me with. So I lose either way.
Exactly.
The point
Or
that
what
I'm
bird,
making
you
is
know?
Arsenal have done nothing significant in 20 years. And they
Yes.
still are so annoying online.
No, Flawless, get
Imagine
it
they
right,
actually
yeah?
do
Flawless,
something of note.
Flawless, get it right. They're walking around like Conor McGregor and they've won fuck all.
Yeah,
That's
they
basically
are.
what they're
They get onto Spurs all the time. You know what they are? They are Spurs with FA Cups.
Yeah,
If Spurs
that's
had
what
three,
they are.
four FA
Guys,
Cups, what's the
man.
difference?
Let's
they're
keep
already
our
annoying.
integrity. Guys.
That's my point.
Okay.
Imagine you give them something of note.
So you want to go to Old Trafford and you want to beat Arsenal?
I always want to beat Arsenal. I can't
Yes.
stand them.
I wanna beat Arsenal,
They're a
yeah.
rival. I
I
can't
wanna
stand
beat
Arsenal.
Allow
Still
it.
What a beat him. Come
I
on,
don't
Saeed. We
care
still want
about
to beat him.
So you don't want
No,
to be Arsenal?
listen, I don't care. Like, generally, broski, we should have beat Man City in the FA Cup final to stop the trouble. So why do I care?
But I agree with that. You're not wrong. We should have, but
When
we
we wanted to win and it was on the line flawless here, I went to Wembley. Ash, I don't know if you went when we were there at Wembley, and they had the chance to go and stop the treble.
Yeah, we did.
But all of a sudden, I have to care about Arsenal at home. Why should I care?
Because we don't want Arsenal to have success.
Broski, man. Listen
Fuck
to
Arsenal,
me,
man. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's because I'm a 90s
The only-
the hatred runs deep for them. I can't stand
The only thing I'll back you with Flawless is the fact that if Arteta does win a league title, I think that remotivates Pep to go again for a couple more years. Do you know what I mean? Just because he's not gonna leave, he's not gonna retire, he's not gonna move away from City, knowing that he's his disciples there, like showing him up, potentially retiring him. Do you know what I mean? Or send him off into so there is that little bit of worry there. Where if then we've got more City, so. I don't know, man. It's just Arsenal. Arsenal have what league titles? When's the last time they won a league title?
20 years ago.
Do you know what I mean? Saeed did it best. Spicy Tottenham.
Maybe it's me.
Yeah, spicy
I've
Tottenham.
got
However,
four brothers.
that's
who
what
are
it is.
City
Because
fans.
Yeah, you can't have that.
Yeah.
This is
Four
no.
brothers.
This is where
Father-in-law's a City fan, man. It's horrendous.
You know what it
Can't
is?
be having this.
Because we're talking
Four.
because Saeed, I bet if I ask you this question forget from the club perspective, from a personal perspective, City winning the league title is worse than Arsenal, right? For you, from a personal standpoint.
Yeah, personal.
Okay, for me, that's why we're different. Because for me personally, it's Arsenal.
Fair enough. I agree.
That's where
I
it's
agree.
from. Because
What about when you step out into Ancoats?
Wait, City ain't got no fans, man. What are we talking
Come
about?
on, man.
here?
They got fans.
thing.
There is fans in Ancoats.
They ain't
There's
got no
fans
fans,
around
man.
there.
You know
You're
I
telling
live
me in
round the
that
corner
area,
from
East
I'm-
Manchester, you
you
don't
know
see
I-
City fans.
You know, I live
Wait
around
a
not
minute,
too far from the
wait a minute,
stadium. There's no city. Ancoats is down the road from me. I can walk there in 5 minutes from where I am right now.
Bro,
They got-
flawless.
they got no noise, man.
Nah,
They
they're
won a
gonna
treble and we forgot about it. We
Yeah,
talked
I had to
about
run away
There's
from
too
Stockport,
many
man.
shirts, too
I
many
had to leave
City shirts
Stockport.
around Manchester.
Bro, I was in
there's too many.
Stockport for a year. I had to leave there.
You know
But
why they
still,
said
I still see them
It's
around there,
growing.
man.
It's growing because they're successful.
They're growing.
I seen so many is because, but that's just having success. Watch all the Arsenal fans pop up out the woodwork. Arsenal, there's loads of
You're not seeing
Arsenal
in
fans.
Manchester though. You're not seeing in Manchester. Do you know what I mean? You can keep them down there.
There's Arsenal fans in Manchester. I'm telling you, they just not popped out. That's what it is. They just let them win the league. Let Arsenal win the league and watch.
You see what it is for
telling you
me?
that.
Here, there's no City fans. There's a couple of Liverpool fans. There's Arsenal fans everywhere.
See, that's the same thing for us, though, Leon.
Everywhere.
There's no Arsenal fans, so it's the same thing for us. And it's that Manchester rivalry. Whatever happens in 50, 60 years, whatever happens everywhere, the Manchester rivalry will still always be strong. Do you know what I mean? And the fact that they're doing a 4-peat and they get to say that 4-peat over us, that's
4-peat.
painful.
Yeah, man, all 15 of them. Like I say, Arsenal fans are everywhere, and in particular online. They are
That's
loud.
it. That
Yeah,
Pep
man.
Alex debate and all that. Do you know what I mean? Oh, Pep won 4. Oh,
For real. Uncomfortable conversations.
Yeah, but then
You
you
know?
just say, hey, Pep got ran out of his own ends by Mourinho. We can talk about that. See?
But no,
talk
I'll
about
be
that.
real, yeah. I'll be real. Okay. For me, I just won't check social media. I just won't check Arsenal fans, what they're doing. It doesn't really hurt me, if I'm being honest with you.
All
It
right,
won't really
don't be
hurt me
excited.
seeing Arsenal fans win the title. I'll just be like,
They're
you know
gonna
what,
be,
fair
they're gonna
enough,
be
they're
in
the
your,
best.
they're gonna be in your chat 24/7
Because
every day.
No, but the thing is, we have banter. We're
There's Arsenal fans in
bragging
the chat
rights.
now. Wait. There's more Arsenal fans in the chat now than City fans.
Okay,
Yeah,
look
but-
this way. The
yeah, that's
downfall
true,
will be
that's true.
better. The downfall will be greater
No,
when
no.
Arsenal inevitably do fall off again.
100%. But I've loved
we
the
need-
downfall for the last 20 years. I want 20
We need
more
1
years
year
of
to
it.
rest. We need
I
1
need
year
them-
to rest.
Rest for who? There's one more.
Rest.
I want them
City.
still.
Yeah.
Yo, City is what it is.
They've just won a
Like, I've
treble. Do you know what I
accepted it.
mean? Come
Yeah,
on.
Exactly. And there was no noise about it. Imagine Arsenal win a treble.
Then they wouldn't. Oh yeah, that's different. If they
That's
win a
the
treble,
point I'm
that's
making.
won't-
Arsenal, okay,
but
Arsenal,
that's
Arsenal,
one
they
Premier
won't.
Arsenal Europe.
No, they won't. Yeah, Arsenal and Europe, oil and water, they don't mix. However, what I'm saying is it will feel like that. We'll hear more noise about them winning the league than City winning the treble. Guaranteed.
No, I actually get that, because you know why? After a week, it's gone for City. They don't worry about the title. They have their little parade in Deansgate Locks here, and then that's done. It's done. The league's done. It's calm.
They don't even shut down the roads. That's
They
how
don't
many
shut down the
fans there were
roads.
in
I
Manchester.
know. I
They
know.
don't even shut
They
nothing.
don't shut down the roads. No, it's true.
Nothing
It's true.
stops.
Business as usual.
Yeah.
Business is you can just walk around freely. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If it's a marathon or something, they'll stop block the roads. What are we talking about here? I said, man, I wish not the 20 years, run me 20 more years of their misery. I can't stand them. You know what I'm saying? I can't stand it. They've stopped us from
Right.
4-peating and shit. My hatred for them runs deep. Don't get mistaken, I can't stand City either.
Yeah, no,
You
I
are
agree.
gonna
I agree.
take it.
I agree. I agree.
Can't stand
But you know what it
City.
is, though? I think it's sad, though, that we're talking about this here, and it's like we have no say in nothing really. Let's be honest, man. Like,
we do have a say. Small the pie.
We had a saying Klopp's downfall, didn't we? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
That was beautiful.
Yo,
that was
It
beautiful.
collapsed. It collapsed
beautiful.
after that 4-3.
Facts. You know what
A
I'm
mad
saying?
sent him packing.
Love that. They
Lovely.
were talking about quadruples, and now what?
It means
Talking
more
about-
though, Flawless. Do you not remember? It means more.
More, man. It means more. Hashtag do it for Klopp. That's what it is.
Aye, listen,
Hashtag
man.
hungry for more.
Imagine we got two ball heads and that in the dugout next season, man. Klopp versus Slot, man. Like, that's gonna be mad. No, I mean Ten Hag versus Slot. Like, that can't happen, man. It needs to be a new
Ten Hag and
manager.
Slot.
Because you know the memes next year. If Slot beats us like 3 or 4-0, yeah, it'd be like, like this guy done it. You know what I mean? We got the real Ten Hag or whatever. We got the real Dutch manager and this and that. Like, it'll be banter. I'm telling you now, it'll be banter. You know what I'm trying to say? And that's something that I cannot do. But it is a sad indictment, though, that we're talking here and we're just spectators again. Like, we're just out here just chilling.
We outside the club and can't get in. However, when we can get in is the Arsenal game. That's when we go in and spoil the party. That's when we go in and look at. We did it to
That's
Liverpool.
you, man. That's you.
We do it to Arsenal, man.
I'm gonna be shouting, Onana, do you think? You know what I'm saying? You know the ones that
Arsenal.
Bro, listen, man. By the way, who do you blame on the weekend? Onana or Casemiro, by the way?
It's more Casemiro's initial, but Onana's worse.
Yeah, Onana, man.
Why? Like, because when the ball's gone up in the air, and I can't remember who the Burnley attacker was, Wan-Bissaka's going to compete. Even if the Burnley player wins the header, he can't score.
Yeah.
He's not going to. So that takes a terrific header. The ball, it's not like it's a cross into the box. And he's
Onana's got previous as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he did it against Wolves as well. And also,
Karma, isn't it?
Look where the ball went. If he stays on his line, look where the ball went.
Yeah.
Right, so now he's not good enough, man.
Casemiro's Ten Hag out, man. I told you that, man. Casemiro's Ten Hag out, man. Bro, he did that on purpose, man. He did the thing. he did the penalty on purpose as well. You know what I'm trying to say?
He lunges into challenges on the halfway line, so he don't have to track back. It's madness. You don't care. He's no interest in playing under this manager.
That's the thing as well. Like, it's about damage limitation right now as well, because obviously people have an opinion on Varane, Casemiro, Eriksen, and people like that. Yeah, if we were really going to do this thing properly, you try and lock them guys in for at least another 6 months to a year. I know some of them are already on contracts because you need that stability there. If all of these men are demotivated at the end of the season, honestly, it's going to be a shit show. Like, because you can't, like, there needs to be a level of quality and experience in the squad. And right now, you take some of them key players out, bro. I don't know what's interesting at the end of the season, Ash. Like, who just turns around and goes, I'm done with this shit.
You know what? It's a great point, that, Liam, because you imagine these players with Ten Hag for another season. Imagine them turning up in summer after a break thinking, we got him again. Do you know what I mean? We've got to go for him. We're going to go again for this guy. Like, they're not turning up next season. They've not turned up this season. So what's going to change to make them turn up next season? There's nothing there, is there?
I feel like Cass would turn, if you knew that Ten Hag was staying on, because you'd know, obviously, before the transfer window's finished. I feel like by the end of the transfer window, he'd be like, boom, I'm off. Just tell me, even if I go Saudi for a year. Because that man can dip Saudi for a year, still come back and play ball, innit? I feel like Varane is going to go. It's a shame. I feel like we need someone like him. But, and then I think Eriksen's definitely gone. Not just because I think he's not good enough. I think he could stay for another season and do a job. I really do think off the bench, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. But we've been misused. Like, if we'd have seen Eriksen play in the 10 all season, we would have seen a younger player
100%
develop off the back of that and just have him on the bench to come on 20 minutes, 10 minutes. But yeah, I'm not going to be surprised this summer if certain people, if we go, we want to get rid of 4, and then another 4 guys go, I'm not in it no more. So I'm not.
I'm calm with it, bro. I'm whatever the INEOS want to do. I wanna do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with that. But the problem is, though, is that you get rid of Varane. It's like that guy. Did you see that guy that I caught out on Twitter, man? Chatting bullshit on Twitter, Sky Sports guy. Yeah, basically, yeah. Like, let me pull up the tweet now, man. He works for Sky Sports, innit? I was like, yo, you're just chatting bullshit, bro. Yeah, he's talking about basically Varane not playing. He's only had like a few games that he can count on his hand that he's been like playing well. And I was like, you're taking a piss, you, mate. And then I said, where's the energy for other players that have been injured or whatnot? And he basically didn't say anything really. But let me pull up the tweet right now. I think it's on my replies. 1 second, let me pull it up. But yeah, in terms of Varane, like I said to you, I don't think they're going to give him a contract. If I'm being really honest with you, man, I don't think they're going to give him a contract. I think he's going to end up leaving in the end of the season, which is going to be a real shame. You get me? It's going to be a real shame.
Them kind of players. It's interesting how a lot of players got extended the ones who weren't good enough over the last few years. But that's one where you just extend a year. Do you know what I mean? You know, you just say to him, you just hang about for a year, we'll look after him, we'll play under it. But I don't know, man. It's
yeah. People are always talking about like saving money. Like we don't have so many players who you get rid of that would actually save money. And Varane's actually performed well this season.
Best defender this season.
I can count on one hand.
Yeah, but that's what he said.
The amount of bad games he's had. He's performed well this season. He has not performed badly.
Look
whatsoever.
at it as well, Flawless. Yeah, we've got Camboala, and then you know the you at Fulham who were looking at it on a free. Is he right-footed or left-footed?
Who?
Who
are we looking at from Fulham? I didn't know this.
Or something like that. Tosin.
Okay.
Tosin, yeah, he's on a free. He's on a free.
Is he right-footed or left?
Yeah, he can play both. He can play both.
So do you imagine Varane is with training with them two guys, both Camboala and Tosin?
Yeah,
a perfect like guy to train with.
But this is it. This is him. Yeah, he works for Sky Sports and Football Daily, whatever he does. Yeah, he goes here. If this is true, Varane has to go down as one of the biggest disappointments of the last 5 years. Massive fanfare. Champions League Varane. He missed 45 games in 2 seasons, and you cannot count the amount of top performances on one hand. And I was like, are you taking a piss? I said, he's been arguably our best defender every time he's played. This is bullshit tweet. Bet you don't have anything for Luke Shaw. Where's your tweet for him? And then he goes, what are you trying to insinuate? I said, broski, what are you talking about insinuate? I'm talking about the fact that you have just said, yeah, that Varane has basically had a handful of good games. And then he goes, it seems to me you're making a pretty big accusation. As for Varane, just my opinion, don't let anyone write you up as much. It's not even 11. So then I went, you just said you can count the amount of top performances on one hand. Bullshit statement. I said, plus I'm saying is that there needs to be energy for others too. That's all I said. You know what I mean? Because it feels to me that they focus on the wrong players, man. Every single time they focus on the wrong players. You know what I mean? And again, yeah, he dodged my tweet about Luke Shaw because he don't want to talk. And by the way, Luke Shaw, by the way, has missed more games than Martial. But apparently the villain is Martial. But you know, Luke Shaw's part of the squad next season, 2024, 25. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. So I just said, yeah.
10 years.
Yeah, bro.
That's the thing. People turn
How many
around
good seasons?
Like, exactly.
Bro,
people turn around and they go like, oh, who's got the attributes that Luke, this is what I hear. Who's got the attributes that Luke Shaw's got a left back? And it's like, guys, just listen to what Flawless says sometimes. And like, I reiterate all the time, yeah. You don't need what you believe is an 8, 9, or 10 out of 10 in the position each time. You need consistency, less injuries, and someone that maybe you think is not technically as good, but does a job better. Do you know what I'm saying? Who actually goes down the byline, even if you can't cross the ball like Luke Shaw or trap it and run into midfield and stuff. All them things are irrelevant because what have they done for us in the last like 5, 6? What's that actually done? Like, what have the star boys that we call in our squad done for us? They haven't won us that much. They haven't got us higher in the league. We haven't got consistent results. We haven't played that good football. Like, so
dynamic.
The best ability is availability. You got to be available for your team.
I can't wait.
I mean, that's
and he's been here almost 10 years. We're talking injuries. How many assists has he got? Is it 10 assists in 10 years?
It's awful. It's like in his whole career, it's less than 30.
Region had more.
It's awful.
Yeah, like what are we doing here?
That's
and he's actually a better centre back than he is a left back.
You can't get rid of players like Varane and Casemiro though, because it's. I heard someone say it's like letting the grown-ups leave. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you know, those are the players that control the dressing room. Those are the players that kind of dictate the culture and kind of have a little bit of control. And I think the only reason why they're not doing it now, because people might argue, yeah, well, why is it not happening now? Is because they don't believe in this manager. They can't get behind him. They can't back him. They can't follow him. He's not a leader, and he can't lead these players who've seen it. They've been there. They've done it. They've been to World Cups. Do you know what I mean? They've played in Champions League finals. They've won multiple league titles and whatever, and they've seen this manager. They played under multiple coaches, by the way. They've seen this manager and what he brings and what he offers, and it's just not good enough for them. And they understand and can see that, and so they're not putting in as much effort as you probably would expect for a title-winning centre backs and title winning midfielders, but the quality, the ability is there. You've seen that with Varane in his performances. You've seen when we've got the best, and when you see an up for it Casemiro, you see the difference he makes on the football field. You know, you see how important they are, and especially for players like Mainu and like Camboala and the young lads and the people in the dressing room close to him. You want to be learning that kind of just the culture, the what it takes to get over the line, to have that experience. You've seen with Chelsea this year, like over other than Thiago Silva, they've not got the old heads kind of running the dressing room. You got a lot of young lads in there just running wild, not listening to the manager and not doing what they're supposed to. And you need these players with the experience and with a quality manager that uses them as their generals, like Sir Alex had with Roy Keane and with centre backs in the past like Steve Bruce and all that. He used them to corral and control the rest of the dressing room. So you can't get rid of players like, because who becomes our midfield generals? Who becomes our squad generals? Sorry, who becomes the players within our squad that take control and kind of have that responsibility and the ability to take us to the next level? We're short on those players. We've not got them, and that's why they're so important.
Exactly, and
can't be losing them.
It's mad because it's like if you give most United fans like the transfer budget that we do and the freedom, that the managers had, they will probably waste the money. From what I see online, they'll probably waste the money on the one fix. Do you know what I mean? Like, we bring in this one guy and he could do everything in midfield, or we bring in this one guy and it's like, guys, we really need to find, and Adam says this, comfortable, competent players. That's the biggest goal over the next 2 years. Be patient, build that in. And like I said, when Klopp first came to Liverpool, I could see what they were trying to do. And I could look at the whole squad and I could go, swap that one there, swap that one there, swap that one there, and they'll go up a level. But that's what we need. Do you know what I mean? We haven't even got competent players there. Why don't we start by just...
We need technical players, man. I'm tired of this PMP and all of this running around, man. I'm going to see technical players at this football club. Like, pride yourself in players that when they're out of possession, or when they have possession, they know what to do with it. Exactly. So many of our players just don't know what to do when they have possession. Got so many runners, so many people that have... You know what I mean? It's too much, man. Big up to 20 times. His only regime Erik ten Hag has a manager is 1890 quarterfinal with Ajax when they lost to Spurs, and people still back him for that 5 years ago.
He bottled that game. He bottled that game.
Yeah, he bottled it. I know.
Like, we've seen what we are now under him. That was an omen. That should have been the one where we looked at and we thought, okay, the way he bottled that. You look at Frank de Boer, won four Eredivisie back to back, went to Palace. Couldn't win a game in the Premier League. He won more trophies at Ajax than Erik ten Hag did. Come to the Premier League, absolutely failed. So we've seen with ten Hag, he's not good enough. It's the idea that we've got to continue and carry on with this, man. The only worry is INEOS. Whether they're ready to start the process. With the man that they want. Maybe it's a little bit too early in the summer.
Yeah. Arteta win 100 today in 169 games. What's your take? Listen, fair play, because like I said to you, he's turned it around and he's done it the right way. But that might not happen for ten Hag. I don't see it happening. For me, the trajectory where Arteta was that he was playing the right football, wasn't getting the results, but you could see where they were going. Let's not be tribal, innit? Like Arteta, you could see that the philosophy was there, but they weren't getting the results. You can see what he's trying to do.
Like Leon just mentioned it already. I mentioned it just before. Klopp is the perfect example. Even though you could see, though they were losing games and we conceded a lot of goals, they might lose a game like 3-2, or they might be 3-0 up and then lose the game 4-3. You could see where he's going and go. Despite quality of players, you should still be able to see a system.
Yeah.
And then when you look at said system, you go, okay, with better quality players who fit said system, they would then perform better. And that's what Liverpool did with Klopp. That's what Arteta did with Arsenal from a performance base. And that's where we need to be. I keep saying this about INEOS. Our style should have already been picked. Whatever the style is, we should not let the manager dictate to us what style we're going to play. No, Manchester United play this way. And then you go find a set manager that plays that way. And if that manager doesn't work out, you then go get another manager who plays similar. So then you can still use the vast majority of the players and so forth and so forth and so forth. Seems that's the way Liverpool have gone with Slot. Because when I talk to man like Kaneki, I talk to Strasbourg Steve, who watch Eredivisie, they say Slot style is not too far away from clubs. They say it's not a million miles away. More so they're saying it's more the midfielders. That's where the difference is. He likes more technically sound midfielders, but it's high energy, it's very direct. You know what I'm saying? It's high pressing, it's all that type of thing.
You know what's mad? You know that that Areola, yeah? I didn't realize this mad statement that he didn't win a single game for the first 9 Premier League games, yeah. But since then, 42 points in 25 games. That's 5th in the league in that time.
Because at one point, Bournemouth, let's not forget, they were the informed team in the league. I think when they beat us around that time, did they not? They went on a 5-6 game winning streak when was who the
Yeah,
striker was in hot form? Was it Solanke?
Yeah.
I think it was Solanke at that point was like just scoring goals left, right, and center over that. The chat will remember better than me. Well, it was on smoke.
You look at Rayo Vallecano as well, and the way he performed in the league in La Liga. The teams that he was beating. He put in big performance against Real Madrid. He put in big performances against Barcelona and stuff. He is a manager that plays exciting football and good football. He's someone that I'd personally rather look to him more so than Zerbi if we're going to take
Raiola. Yeah,
I like Raiola. I'm a big fan.
But Robin speaks otherwise. He says Ten Hag is going to win us trophies. We are building. I mean, building what? Lego? You know what I mean? He might be able to build Lego. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man.
Interesting to build Lego.
Which part is building though? Which part of the squad is it? The defense is building,
Dynamic.
the midfield, the attack. Like where's he building it? Because I'm not seeing it. Do you know what I mean? I'm seeing a striker that can't score. I'm seeing midfielders that can't control the possession and control the ball. I'm seeing defenders that just concede goals. So where is this building going on? There's no chemistry between the players. There's no link up. Where are we seeing this build?
But guys, 04-05 team, which was this team here. Paul Scholes says here, what an iconic photo. You can literally feel the quality of the picture. We were shut to a team, man. He's doing that in retaliation to Ten Hag. Him trying to absolutely take the piss out of him. Look who we had in that squad, by the way. We had Howard, Brown, Heinze, Roy Keane, Rio Ferdinand, Van Nistelrooy, Ronaldo, Giggs, Scholes, Rooney, Silvestre. And that team, by the way, I think they finished 71 points in it. They got, I think, plus 31 goal difference, I think it was, in that season. Bro, they were doing bits that season.
Look at that team.
Ten Hag just
look how gorgeous that team. Don't just chat, just look at that team. Look how beautiful that team was.
The crazy part
That's where we were.
We were critical of that team because they didn't do the business, and they're miles ahead.
They didn't do the business. But come on, though. You got to remember, when you look at big up Musa, man, he said 3 finals, 1 cup. Are we spoiled? Shout out to Musa. He's just been funny, yeah. But when you look at it, guys, like that team there, bro, are you mad? Like, what the flip? Like, and we faced a Chelsea team, who were sensational that year. And then I think who came second? Was it Arsenal? Came second that season.
Because that was off the back of the Invincibles, wasn't it?
Let me show you the league table. That Premier League table 04-05. I want to show you now. I think it's there we go. Oh no, we can't get it up. Let me see if I can get it up here.
Pause.
Right, let me show you. Yeah, here we go. Right, that season, I've got the league table right now. So Manchester United that season finished 3rd in the table. So 95 points they got that season. Chelsea. How many points is that? So what would be? Let me see right now. So 38. Oops.
Only conceded 15 goals.
Yep.
See that? Only conceded 15 goals. That's incredible.
So they only dropped that season, 19 points throughout the whole season. 19 points, brothers, They lost once. They drew 8 times, Brothers, it's crazy. We lost 5. This season, we've lost 12. We've drawn more this season, this season than we have, obviously, there. You know what I mean? Less, sorry. We've won 22. I think this season we're on how many? Are we on this season wins? The 16 or something like that?
Yeah, certain measly.
We've conceded double the amount of goals this season, and then we've conceded double the amount of goals.
Bro, 77 points. What are we on now? 54, is it?
I'll tell you now, 1 second. Let me pull up the table.
Broski, like, what are we doing here, man? Chelsea were unbelievable.
That season. Yeah, that Chelsea team with the Mourinho was crazy. We had 16 wins this season, We've 54 points.
Man. And look how far we finished above 4th. Everton that year, fair play to them. That was when David Moyes started building his rep. Look at Everton, bro. Look at Everton, how many points we're away from them. Come on, man. They were never close to us. We were in a title race and we fell off. We fell off massively. We were very inconsistent. A lot of draws.
And that's the crazy part is we were critical of that 04-05 team. We knew that had to go again. And it did eventually. And that team's nowhere. Like, again, comparing, both teams failed. Like, why you compare? Oh, look where the 04-05 team was. Yeah, then what happened?
Why are we even why are we even considering what he's saying? He said we play the most dynamic, attractive football in the league.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he's taking.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Guys,
Man is a
delusional.
gaslighter, bro. Look at the
That's
goals.
for
Yeah,
people.
exactly.
He saw Anthony on the training. He saw Anthony on the training ground for 2 seasons at Ajax and thought, you know what, he's worth 80 million.
Yeah, but I think I think he has a part to play in that. I feel like the club is shit, but I don't know. He did push the deal. So
He has a veto though, Leon. He has a veto. He said that himself. You know, I have the veto. If I want to say no, I say no. He saw Onana for a season. Thought, you know what, I'm going to wait a year rather than taking him for free now. I'm going to wait a year and then pay 50 million for him. Do you know what I mean? He thought, you know what our answer is this season. Our answer is Mason Mount. That's the answer for us this season in the midfield. We don't need a centre back. We'll go with Johnny Evans. What we need is Mason Mount. Hold on. We'll get rid of Fred for 8 million and we'll bring in Amrabat for 8 million, but on loan.
Doesn't make no sense.
How many points are we behind Arsenal?
Fucking miles. I feel like the most damning thing
26 points.
I feel like
first.
You know, I feel like the most damning thing with what Ten Hag has done is not all of that stuff, because we can agree and disagree with all the signings. That I don't rate his signings, his talent ID. I don't rate it whatsoever, and obviously shouldn't have had the power. But we haven't. If we were to put a percentage on the progress that he's made for his process, it's so low and so unclear. That's the biggest picture there. Because if you'd have brought in the players that we didn't like, you'd overpaid for Anthony, Mount, but we could see, oh, you know what? I can kind of see what, you know what I mean? The cogs are starting to turn. You can't see anything. And then you're coming out, desperate people do desperate things, innit? Like, I've heard everything from this guy. I've never heard a manager talk GA, try to about what's in front of our face. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you go to get like burger and chips, and then the guy you ask for barbecue, and you put mayo on it. He's like, and then they get, you know what I mean? That's mayo. Like, no, it's barbecue, bro. Yeah.
You said barbecue.
Broski, barbecue as well is disgusting, man. Who likes barbecue, man?
Who likes barbecue?
Barbecue's overrated, man.
Hot sauce.
Saeed's definitely the mayo, man, isn't it?
Yeah, I like mayo. I like mayo.
No.
I like a little bit of mayo. You know what I'm saying? Oh, garlic mayo is my favorite. Garlic mayo.
Stop.
Stop. What did I say? I didn't even make the joke.
But is that maybe a AO moment? Is that AO moment?
No, that's not even AO in it. I was gonna say some stuff, but we buy Saeed, so I'll just let it go. You get what I'm saying?
It's too sweet, man. It's too sweet for me, man.
Too sweet. What is
I don't know.
Man.
Sweet chili or
chili,
garlic mayo. Sweet chili, man. You know what I'm saying? But yo, look at this, man. We're finished, man. United's finished, bro. I swear. We're finished. We're finished.
That's like when you asking questions, Saeed, I'm like, why? I'm just here so I don't get fined. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it is.
Chat, what sauce you saying? Do you know what I mean? Come on.
Like, I'm just here to just
man said garlic butter. What the hell?
Garlic butter? Yeah, that's me, man.
What's garlic butter? What is
that's
garlic
crazy.
Butter? Never heard of garlic butter.
What do you think Ten Hag has? Ten Hag is a mayonnaise guy.
Bro, he's a dry guy, man.
At most ketchup.
Oh, dry. Yeah, nah, it's
don't
dry.
season it. Don't season it,
dry.
It's
dry,
like
man.
Mustard. He's a mustard.
Yeah,
guy.
mustard or something like that. Or
Mustard,
Marmite or something.
Yeah,
he definitely has Marmite.
Ham and mustard.
It's mustard, man. 100%. He's mustard, without doubt.
Nah, that's crazy, man.
Where do you think he eats in Manchester? If you could just
well, he goes to Hale, man. He goes to Hale and that.
Yeah. Like a meal deal or something. Egg and chips.
Yo. Brother goes to the barbershop and that to trim his beard and that. It's mad. You get me? It's crazy. But listen, I don't know. Yo, shout out to the brothers, man.
What have we become?
Listen, man. Come on, man. Big up, man. Big up the ball, man. You get me? Big up the ballies, man. You know what it is, yeah? I don't know, man. We're just finishing it. You know what I'm saying? I've never wanted this season to finish, man. I can't believe there's 4 games left, man. I swear down. I'd rather forfeit them, bro. I don't want to play these 4 games.
I said it. The only game I care about is the Arsenal game. I wish you don't like a FIFA where you could just simulate the game at the end of the season.
Sim that game, bro. Sim that game, man.
It was a game, and it was like, before I was like, all right, Liverpool, Arsenal, FA Cup semi-final. They were the 3 games. That was it.
And Ahmad's still going to get no game time.
Listen, man.
He's getting minutes now because of injuries. That's what it's taking. It's taking a depleted squad.
Play the youth in it though. You start playing the youth now, innit? You know what I mean? You start putting in the young
weekly.
Because you know what they'd at least do is apply themselves. That's at the bare minimum. They always be like, all right, cool. We happy to be here. We don't know how long we're gonna be here for. Let's run around. Let's clatter into people. Let's close down. Let's cover every blade of grass. Let's run some laps. Bet. At least there's an application there. At least it's something new rather than just watching this. And we might actually find a decent player out of the mix.
Yeah.
He throws out 4 or 5 youth players. We might find one and go, you know what? Like Kambawala, for instance. I thought he's done decent this season when he's playing outside of the Bournemouth game. Like when he plays, I don't see his name on the team sheet and go, oh, Kambawala's playing. Damn, I'm like,
there's been some positives this season though. Kambawala, Kobe Mainu.
That's it. That's it. It's 2.
We seen Wheatley for a couple of minutes. That was decent. Did you see how much he ran as well? When he only came on for 10 minutes, but the way he ran, the way he moved, he ran more than
Dallo. I give Dallo his props.
I give Wheatley a go over Højlund at the moment.
Yeah, I would as well, because the way he runs, the way he movement. You know what? I was paying close attention to Højlund over the last couple of games, and he doesn't make runs. He doesn't move. He doesn't move defenders. He's not got that intelligence to be able to kind of move the centre backs and draw the fullbacks wide. He's not able to pivot and turn. He follows the defence, and it's so frustrating. I saw in 10 minutes movement from Wheatley that I've not seen all season for Rasmus. He's a young kid, I know, but he had the intelligence to be able to move the defence. He was constantly kind of like pulling and dragging defenders. And okay, you can say Sheffield ended the game and that, but the fact that he was making these runs, the fact that he was moving, he understood what was happening. I'm not seeing that with Rasmussen. It's worrying that, And
it is.
Improvements needed.
Ash, you can see the instinct, can't you? Versus
it's the instinct exactly on
Bro, instincts are so key in football, man. You know what it is, You know what it is? Why does he want to get into a wrestling match all the time, bro? Like, I wouldn't want to be getting into getting muddy and that, bro. He wants to get muddy. He wants to.
And you know what, Saeed? The defenders that you hear, the Jamie Carragher's, you hear the clunky defenders. They all say they love when a player's up against them because they know I've got them. I've got hold of them. Do you know what I mean? They can't turn, they can't move. I know where they are. I hate when a player's behind me or he's moving around me. He's doing exactly what them poor defenders want him to do. Do you know what I mean? And no one's telling him that. Like Benny McCarthy, what you doing there?
It's mad because the basics that they tell you in football is you have your back to a player, you go one way, then you come back when the ball's going to be played, innit? So you literally take them that way and then come back in and create the space, innit? So that's what Martial used to do like a genius, but he's not even doing that. The way that he's holding on defenders, it doesn't make any sense because unless you're a killer at keeping the ball like a Giroud or Ibra, or do you know what I mean? It's just not going to work, innit? So, but Højlund, unfortunately,
the service effect. The thing is, let me ask you a question here. I look at, when at the start, we were talking about he needs service. He does
need that, but he still needs to apply himself in other areas.
There you go. You have to be in the right places to receive. Look at Garnacho, Listen, I'm not trying to give Garnacho a prop here, but always Garnacho, have you noticed, he's always got that ability to receive the ball. Like, he's in the right spaces, but the problem is he don't do anything with it, maybe sometimes.
Yeah, Garnacho does what Ash just mentioned about Højlund not making runs. That's one thing Garnacho does.
He does well.
Tireless runner. And if you make 15 to 20 runs a game, even if you're bad at it, even if they're bad runs, 15 to 20 a game, 1 or 2 are going to find you. Just a lot of averages. And then law of averages, you may don't do something in those 1 or 2 moments, but you give yourself a chance because with Højlund, he has the physical attributes to make runs, even if they're bad runs, but he doesn't move enough. As much as there is a lack of service, I'm looking at you and you need to do more. You don't do enough. You're quick, you can shift.
You don't.
I'm saying you might not be the best balance or the most agile, but one thing you are is you can run. We've seen you do it. Run.
And the other thing as well is, Anthony's got a better touch and ball control than him. So sometimes what you can do is you can drift out right, let Anthony take that middle space because Anthony's good at coming across the pitch.
Yeah.
So he can pick the ball up across the pitch, spray it out to
but his ball striking ability is
my man that way. So it's like Anthony can kind of not play a 10 role, but he can play that little bit of a facilitator role. So they should be reading each other to be like Anthony steps in, Højlund goes on the outside,
I know.
Bit of pace, but it's almost like do we think the manager tells? It seems like I watch the same thing every week. So you think the manager says to him, "Don't you do this? Don't do that."
He does because you know what it is with
Højlund. The only one who gets freedom. So
but look at Ahmad when he comes on. You see the manager's on him like a rash. Like,
is it?
Bro, let him breathe.
Is he on him?
He's always on him saying, "Yo, Ahmad, stay here, stay there." I'm like, broski, this is what happens in football. When you look at Pep Guardiola here, the reason why Grealish and all these guys, Doku and that, they're not performing maybe to their maximum is because Guardiola is stifling them too much sometimes. It's like, stay in this position, stay here, stay there.
You see it on the documentary as well.
You see it on the documentary. So I'm looking at it thinking, Ten Hag is the same with Højlund. Like, sometimes he doesn't tell him to go do this. And I think the same with Ahmad. Like, he's probably telling him, yo, stay in the central areas. I'm like, bro, let freedom for attackers. Let them do what they got to do.
And that shows the ignorance of the manager, because anybody who go watch a compilation of Ahmad at Sunderland. Don't even watch the whole season and 90-minute games. And go watch the freedom that he was given to drift into the middle of the park, to drag players into, but then also drag people out wide as well. So you can't stifle certain players. Like Tuchel
why he hated Sancho. It's why he hated Sancho. Exactly. It's why he couldn't go on with Sancho, because he had creativity, he had that ability.
You know what that is? For me, that's a control issue to me.
Bro,
like, you're trying to control the system so much that you can't, because in a system, there's still got to be players that, like Sancho and Ahmad, they're smart enough to know how to read the game, when to go into certain places, when to play the right ball, when to give and go, when to drag people in certain places. But I don't know, man. Maybe there's a 10 hours control thing. Sounds like.
You know, but the thing is, look at Sancho. You know Sancho, by the way. I don't know if you've seen the stat here. Just wrap up last 5 or 10 minutes or so. Yeah, there was a stat here of basically creating chances. And guess who's second on the list?
Surprise, people.
Is this for Manchester United?
Yes, Manchester United.
Wait,
in the last. No, since this is for a while. I think.
Because he doesn't always play the final ball, people don't pick it up. But he starts a lot of the attacks and he brings people into the right position.
Man United top 4 creators. How many chances they've created over the last 3 seasons? Bruno Fernandes, of course, is in the number 1 because he's the most, creative player that we've got in terms of, yeah. But Jadon Sancho is 86. He's barely played last year. Dalot is 79. Look at Rashford, 64. And after that, you don't know. So imagine we gave Sancho a better kind of, like environment to be in. He had a striker to kind of link up with. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not saying, by the way, Sancho isn't to blame. There's been inconsistent moments here, but look how that is, and people assume that Sancho's a flop. So what's Rashford then? But he scores goals. Say that again.
Man, Rashford got his connection. He'll be back in it.
yeah, bro.
No, you're right though. It's like, but people love, like, United fans love the Hollywood stuff. That's what most of them like. They love Bruno played that final ball on the outside of his foot. But that's not football most of the time, because when you look at a 90-minute game, you need people to do their role consistently. You need to bring their element to the team. And this is the thing that they miss out on a lot of the time, yeah. You got to bring, like, let's just say we're all players, yeah. Ash brings his element that benefits the team, but also he's got his skill set. Saeed brings his skills that benefit the team, but it's just, yeah, like, I don't know. I don't understand how people can't see it. I hear people say all the time, like, Sancho's rubbish, you don't do this, you don't run. But I'm like, but that, you're not really reading what type of player he is.
Yeah, you're not.
Sancho's skill set, he's off the cuff, you know what I mean? He's one of them creative players, like we're saying that Saeed was saying, that you can't be managed by a manager who's so rigid and so formal in the way he instructs players. And the funny thing is, you look at his squad, you look at his team, we play better when we're not listening to Ten Hag's tactics. You know, when it goes end to end and the game becomes chaos and madness, we start actually putting a few things together. Do you know what I mean? When we put his tactics to a side and the players are relying on instinct and what they're doing. And this man, he doesn't want that with these players, and he doesn't like creative players. And Manchester United's been a team over throughout history. And you look at football on the wider scale. What I'm trying to say is that football, we all enjoy football in its beautiful form. The likes of Ronaldinho's, the likes of Zidane's. These players, they can't play under managers who are rigid and structured. Players like Johan Cruyff and all that. You can't be so rigid and structured to say, look, you've got to play this way. The Paul Gascoignes, the Wayne Rooney's, the Eric Cantonas. You've got to allow them to play. You've got to allow them to kind of use their creativity. Even you look with Pep Guardiola, he does it with Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne is allowed to do what he wants on the football field pretty much. Very rarely you see him instruct him. Ten Hag, he can't deal with these kind of characters. He can't deal with these mavericks, these players that want to do what they want, and that's why we're not seeing minutes from Ahmad. We're not seeing minutes. We never saw any minutes for Sancho because he can't deal with him. He wants them instructed, but the problem is his instructions are shit. Like what he wants him to do on the football field is poor. It's shown again. We saw against Fulham, Marco Silva outplaying him, outpassing him from the back. Fulham dominating. Do you know what I mean? Burnley, Company's playing better football.
Iwobi just balling out. Iwobi balling out.
Balling out.
Iwobi.
Madness. Company comes with Burnley, yeah. They worried the first 20 minutes. We looked kind of decent. We looked like, but that was just the fear of coming to Old Trafford, a little bit of pressure. The players, a little bit starstruck looking at the football field, seeing them, the 70,000 or whatever. After the 20 minutes, they realised, hold on, these boys punches, the pillow punches, they got nothing, do you know what I mean? And then they started to play and and they had more possession than us. Do you know what I mean? They played better than us. This is a team that's guaranteed for relegation. It's madness. And this is time and time again. This isn't a one-off. This is what we're seeing week in, week out with this manager. And
you know what's interesting?
Yeah, we can't bring gigs.
It's interesting when you don't play the likes of Sancho and Ahmad. And look, they're my kind of players. I appreciate the manager comes in and he goes, they're not my type of wingers. I want to use them in this way. What you're missing, what he's missing, is that these players are not selfish. They play for the team. Because when you see Ahmad, watch when Ahmad picks the ball up, he's always trying to either draw a defender or bring someone to the game. And a lot of the time, people don't read what he's doing. I've seen him trap the ball on the right-hand side the other day, and I've seen him looking around for runners. The only person there was I think Basaka was playing right back at that point. I can't remember him or Dello. There was a little pass.
Oh, Wan-Bissaka, by the way, sell that brother, man. I'm done with that guy, man.
There was no reading of just running that channel. He's ready to play. I've seen Ahmad. He works the ball in these little tight spaces, but there's no one to read it.
But no one's got the read. Yeah, exactly. No one can read it. That's the problem. We haven't got players that are, like you're looking at De Bruyne and Foden and these guys, man. Like even Odegaard and Havertz are creating a relationship in a minute. And, Havertz,
top managers would love Ahmad. You can go on to top clubs. Trust me.
I see he's done enough to the point where it's like, all right, you deserve an opportunity at a run of games. Start him the last 4 games of the season.
Well, he won't do that. Now Anthony scored. It's finished now for him.
Why not? Like, let's say he plays against Palaces or let's say whoever it is and he plays poorly. Still starting it. You got 4 games. Why not?
Start him. But he won't. He won't start him.
We know what Anthony and Garnacho and Højlund have given us because we've watched him for 30 plus games all season long. Okay. Let's see what Diallo can offer. You might mention the youngster. Cool. Something different. Yes, it's
training.
And also, I'll add to that as well, the United fans that turn around and say, oh, no, he's not physically and he's not big enough. You said the same about Angel Gomez, These man
look at him,
Lil. Ballers. You say the same about Palestri. He's not saying he's a baller like that, but he's a good player. Like, trust me, you develop him. There's a player.
Scored today, by the way. Scored today.
But they don't run hard enough and they're not physical. Like, what kind of team do you want? What do you want?
They don't know.
We don't know. Adama Traore, go buy him because we won't do nothing with it.
They want Onana.
Because I say this all the time, people think of physicality and just look at size and just look at strength.
Look at Bernardo Silva.
Bernardo Silva is the prime example. Because you know what's also physical attributes? Agility.
Agility,
acceleration.
To trap the ball into.
Like, that's what it is. That's what Bernardo Silva is one of the most physical players in the Premier League in regards to his attributes. Yeah, the list goes on. Cole Palmer. Has physical attributes. But Bernardo Silva is 5'6"? You know what I'm saying?
5'6", if that. 5'7",
It's not like, but he's still a quality player because he has those physical attributes to go alongside the technical attributes. Get both. I don't ever get why it's one or the other. Why it's just power or it's just technical. How about you mix the two? Because if you have one without the other, you're probably not going to be successful.
Do you know what? I think we should finish that. I know you're going to finish soon, Saeed. I think I want to wrap up by saying, this is why we need a manager like a Zerbi. I'm not saying he's the guy who does not give a shit, who doesn't care what you're played, what you've done, what you think, and just comes in and rips the script up. Do you know what I mean? Because if I'm the United manager right now, I don't think it's rocket science. I really don't. All I've seen all season is, I've seen us play too many reckless men in the midfield, too many reckless men up front, and it's hurt us all season long.
Facts.
No players we're like the kind of, let's go back to food, we're trying to serve food that doesn't mix together. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, when people come with those mad pizza combinations, it don't work. Like putting Smarties on a pizza with ham, no.
Bro, pineapple on pizza don't work.
No, it works for me. It works for me. Allow that.
Okay, works for you then. Okay.
Just gonna put.
I thought everyone was gonna say,
not ham. Don't do the ham thing. But
yeah.
But
big up SLB.
Wait. Are you man against the barbecue base on pizza? Since we were talking about it before.
Yeah, no barbecue base. No.
Oh, you don't like barbecue base?
Oh, stop it.
There's so many other bases that are better, but
that's crazy.
I don't like barbecue base.
I can deal with it. It's not my number one.
Hey, chat. Let me know it's not just me, man. But you don't like barbecue base.
Pineapple, no barbecue.
You man don't like. You know what it is? I got sweet tooth. That's what it is, man. I got a sweet tooth.
I got a sweet tooth. It's not my number one.
Yeah, you don't like barbecue base. What's wrong with you, lot, man?
What's your pizza?
What's wrong with tomatoes?
Pizza, I would go for the meat feast.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, yo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ash, what we saying?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, pepperoni jalapenos, man.
Yeah, but I like them. Yeah.
Don't repeat
We gonna wrap up. Man. Let's go. Guys, it's been a good show. It's been a good show.
I didn't even clock that, you know.
Bro, it's one of them, man.
It's
You know,
like
Flawless
space
and Rhino.
after-
Flawless and Rhino are the worst.
Nah,
you know. Trust me.
I can't argue with that name.
It's Saeed's face after he said it. Like, how do you order that? Look at the guy in the eyes in the pizza shop. I say, yeah, run me the such and such. Yo, that is crazy. What you want?
Yo,
Yeah, a large.
We're
you know what I'm
finished.
saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Peace.
Man, them talk to pizza. Yeah. Nah, shout out to anyone who's having a pizza right now, man. You know what I mean? If you want to order a pizza.
Enjoy your pizza how you enjoy your pizza. But nah,
Before we
pepperoni
close
pizza's
out,
fine.
chat, yeah?
Brilliant,
Barbecue, yay or nay? That's what we're going to roll with, yeah? Barbecue.
Yeah.
Barbecue base we were talking about.
In the
yeah,
comments,
barbecue
in the
base.
comments
Barbecue
below.
sauce, barbecue base. Are you feeling
Yeah.
it or not?
Pizzagate, man. Shout out to Fabregas. You know the
Yeah,
ones
man,
there.
Pizzagate, facts.
But listen, people, we're gonna wrap it up here, man. Guys, if you've not been in here for long, you know what I mean, it's been a good show. If you're watching on playback, thank you very much for watching. If we can like the video, people, we've just gone past 600 likes. Let's get up to 700 likes, man. But big up to everyone who's locked in. Ash, big up to you as always, man. Love for coming on.
Oh no, love for having us as always, Saeed, and the boys as well, and the chat. You know, pleasure to be here. You know, as we say week in, week out, it may not be all good for United, but you know, it's enjoyable being on the show, and thanks for having us. Make sure you're checking all my socials and Ash Mep. Make sure you're giving Saeed likes. Cost you nothing, boys. Do you know what I mean? Just a like helps the algorithm keeps us going. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, we do it again next week.
Defo, man. Defo. Leon, big up to you for coming on, man.
Big up, man. Catch me at Leon's Reality. I've been connecting with a few United fans in Brum as well, man. They're about
Come on.
You know what I mean, sir. And they've been talking highly of the Mandem show, innit? They're saying,
Come
the
on.
streets are saying Neji cooked last week. Neji was on
No.
fire
I think he did. Fair play, man. Yeah, listen.
I had to ring
Big
him
up
to say,
Neji.
you done well, just like a player who scores a couple of goals. Don't get too ahead of your performance. We'll go again next week. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
we
But
go again.
somebody just put in the chat, Tanog has a pizza with no cheese. That's done it for me. That's perfect.
Yeah. There you go. Flawless is going to be live straight after, so don't go anywhere. Make sure we're going to redirect him. Flawless, let them know what you're going to be getting up to, man.
Yeah, people, big up first and foremost, Saeed, for having me on. Always enjoy the show. It's just a shame we have to talk about United. It was more enjoyable talking about pizza and barbecue bases and things like that, and what you should and shouldn't order from Domino's or Pizza Hut. However, but first, yeah, like I said, big up for having me. Large up the chat. Run up the likes, you lot, man. Run up the likes. Over 1.2 in here, 1.3?
Yeah.
Run up the likes. And what I've got coming up on Sarcasm City TV, sports Q&A, people. So it's where
this winter surfer.
Shanti. Yo, big up surfer every single time.
Big up
so
surfer, man.
sports Q&A. So we just be answering sporting questions from the chat. So obviously you had the North London derby. United, unfortunately, will be taking questions on. NBA playoffs is going on currently right now. The Mavs are playing the Clippers. So the Mandem are actually doing a watch along over on the playback as well, people. So yeah, that's currently going on. Dallas Mavericks, LA Clippers. Hopefully the Clippers win. Yeah. That man are on the playback now. That's also Sarcasm City TV, people. But yeah, Sarcasm City TV on YouTube, man. Please subscribe to the channel, man.
Come on, man.
12K.
Road to 12K, man. Big up Double A as well, who couldn't make it, not feeling well. I'll be back. Yeah, shout out Double A, man. And obviously, I'll be back midday live. Me, Lee, Gunnar, Josh, a lot of the people are on there. So make sure you follow us there. And yeah, man, head over to Sarcasm City. 16 out of 10 raid. We're out.